12 days of Christmas, old Moyes bought to me. 12 goals scored, 11 players losing, 10 quid for a hot dog, 9 new signings, 8 of them not working, number 7 is broken, 60,000 fans, minus 5 goal difference. 4 home wins, 3 consecutive losses, 2 cups left, and a corner in a leg brace. Merry Christmas.
You weren't expecting that, was you?
That's the saddest Christmas song I've ever heard.
Merry Christmas.
Appreciate all the Christmas
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. Oh, dear.
3 points for Arsenal.
Yeah. Just keep it going all night. You could go.
Oh, it's so grim. I depressed myself writing that song.
Did you actually write it, or did you do it off?
Yeah,
did you
actually,
do it off the cuff?
no, I actually wrote it. Couldn't do it off the cuff. No, it's planning. A lot of planning went into that. At least 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, Gary, this is over to you. This is your one.
Is it really? Is it mine?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the Christmas show, the Christmas special. Nick didn't tell me I was hosting, so welcome all. Welcome, Nick. We've got some lovely Christmas special guests, looking all festive and happy, especially Tommy. All right, Tommy, how you doing?
Doing very well, mate. Very well, yeah. Hopefully I'll still be smiling Monday evening, mate.
I doubt it, Tommy.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
And all the way back from the US of A, where he's all snowed in. Danny, how are you?
Cold.
Colder
Colder than I was before I heard that song, too.
Yeah.
No, it was grim, wasn't it? It was grim.
Yeah, Have any of you seen those videos they're doing up in Canada? It's like minus 47 in Saskatchewan or
Fuck
something.
that.
And they're going outside with like boiling water and just throwing
And
it
it just
in the air.
evaporates.
And it's just evaporating in the air. Like, it's that
That's
cold.
insane. How long would you survive somewhere like that if you was out without a jacket on? Not long.
10
Not
minutes.
long. No,
10 minutes.
A few
No
minutes.
way.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
frostbite's going to set in minutes to expose skin. So,
Yeah.
I mean, within a half hour, you'd probably be done.
Yeah, we used to have these, used to have work with Canadians, and they'd show us pictures of their snow, and the snow would be above the level of their front door. Yeah, that's right. That's different kind of
That
snow.
doesn't happen here in Missouri,
No.
but it does get that cold sometimes. Just not,
which
not super often. We're a lot more ready for it than.
Look on the bright side; it's very Christmassy. It's a proper Christmas scene, isn't it?
We get a couple of centimeters of snow and we're fucked.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's an absolute joke. I mean, it wasn't that bad, really. I mean,
No.
probably about 8 inches. Don't ask me how I tested it, but it was around about 8 inches we had.
6 inches to everyone else.
It's about 8 inches, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Hang on now.
There's no snow here in Kerry, but my girlfriend did text me last night and say she got 8 inches. So
Excellent.
Lovely.
And finally, Grant. Welcome back, Grant. You've only been away a couple of weeks. How you doing?
I know. Yeah, I'm all right. I've got a little bit of a cold, so my throat's a little bit thin, but I'm all right.
You're looking very happy,
My
Grant.
souls
You're
are
gonna
on.
try to change all that shit.
Yeah.
That
Won't
dog
take
can do
long.
it.
I know.
So look, we're going to do later on. We're going to do a Christmas quiz, and it's not going to be a sort of Nigel Khan style Christmas quiz where you need fucking, I don't know, a whole shed full of merchandise and hours to read through and revise what the answers are going to be. There's going to be a lot of guessable answers in there, right? I promise you. And there's going to be 20 points available, and and you're going to have to mark your own homework. We're not going to use the thing where we get. You haven't got a
spreadsheet, Gary. You haven't got a spreadsheet, no?
I haven't got a spreadsheet. It's all in an email. It's all in an email to myself, which is where most of my emails come from. Right. So we're going to do that later on. before then, we're going to talk about all things West Ham, and there's been, and this is Nick. Thanks for telling me I'm not telling me I'm hosting, but we're going to have to work our way through the current West Ham news. And there was a very interesting show on Hammers Chat today with Gonzo, where he was talking about something at Hugh Southend. Now, I don't know, the video was a little bit, how can I say?
It was called West Ham for sale, wasn't it?
It was West Ham for sale.
West Ham for sale,
and it was going on about, it was basically alluding to the fact that they haven't come out and openly said West Ham are for sale, but reading between the lines, they're now looking for a buyer. They're looking for a buyer. And you know, whereas Sullivan up until this point was, I don't know, I'm not going to sell under any circumstances. Now he's saying he'd listen to offers. So while I take my beard off, what do we all think about that? Danny, what do you reckon?
I just can't stop paying attention to your lips and wondering how much of that beard you've eaten at this point. But
it looks incredibly uncomfortable, didn't it?
It was terrible. I was strangling myself, I tell you.
It's been one of those like ASMR uncomfortable videos between the song and it's starting off like this. Sorry. As far as whether the club being up for sale or not, I almost just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. Not until I see anything materialize or anything.
Doesn't mean they're going to sell it because it's up for sale, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean somebody's going to buy it if it is up for sale.
Is it blue?
And
No,
have I gone all blue rinse?
No, you haven't. No,
Yeah.
but
Right.
Your beard, especially, yeah.
Is it?
Oh,
That's
do
all right.
you get- must be
rather
getting
blue than
reflection.
grey. Rather blue than grey. That's all right.
But we have been
Sorry,
stuck
Danny.
in this perpetual loop. I think what you get with the current owners is you get stability. You know, even if you get relegated, you're going to get promoted again. They'll do the right thing. They'll try and keep us largely in the Premier League, like they have. You know, we'll see what happens this year. But largely, you know, as a business, it's been run as a very good business. And if you looked at it from that perspective, you'd say, blimey, it's been an upward trend. Look at the fans, you know, 60,000 fans and everything else. But they've got limitations. They've got limitations in their ambitions. Their ambition is literally to do pretty well in the Premier League and be a stable mid-table team, right? Let's not fool ourselves. Surely we need new owners to take us that step further. What do you reckon, Tommy?
high capital. Let's go. Second bid.
God, no.
No, yeah, look, this is a surprise to absolutely no one. I don't think any of us bought into that crap Sullivan was talking, saying he's going to hand the club over to his kids in the future and all that.
Yeah.
We knew this was basically a flip, right? They were going to buy it nice and cheap, sell it at a much higher price, and get out as soon as they didn't have to pay that tax, which is 2023. Is it April?
The embarrassment clause.
Yes, the embarrassment clause. So this is no surprise to anyone that this is happening now. And yeah, I agree, Gary. I think, you know, under GSB, we were always going to have very limited ambitions. And, you know, like you say, as long as we were staying in the Premier League, I think they were quite happy. You know, that keeps the club value where they need it to be. They've gotten a bit lucky that Moyes did as well as he did the last 2 seasons. It did increase our profile. And to be fair, I suppose I've ragged on them an awful lot these last few years, and I think deservedly so. But I suppose to give them some credit, I think they are leaving us when they go. You know, they're not leaving us in the shit, are they? Let's be honest.
They're leaving us in a
We're not in a
place.
worse. We're not in a worse place.
They're leaving us in a better place than when they found us, apart from us not being at Upton Park, right?
Yes, apart from not being at Upton Park, but you know, our debt isn't any worse, isn't particularly better, but it's not any worse. We're not in financial strife. We're in actually a good position for a new owner to come in and actually push us on quite quickly if they invest the money that's needed to do that. So, look, once they're gone, I think I'll pretty much forget about them, more or less.
Yeah. I think most people will. Most people will.
The important thing now for me is that hopefully we can get owners in that can keep us at least, you know, pushing for those European places every season. That can keep.
I think this is the thing, though, Tommy, isn't it? This is the thing. We've kind of, I think we're all kind of universally accepting that Gold and Sullivan have been probably as bad as they've been good in equal measure. There's been some horrendous things that they've done, and there's been some good things as well. We're in a better place. This is where I start to get nervous now around about this point. I'm not saying be careful what you wish for, because I think that we could go out and get better owners, but equally we could get worse owners. We know that the thing that concerns me with where we are is, like the Pi Capital deal, I think we're going to be an attraction for property developers and stuff like that are kind of looking at more the real estate side of things and development than anything else. And do you think? See, I think we might be safe with David Gold, because I do believe that David Gold is a West Ham fan. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see David Gold holding on to a share and sticking around on the board, because what else is he going to do? But David Sullivan would sell to the highest bidder. He wouldn't vet anyone. It would just go, when it comes to David Sullivan selling it, he'd just sell it, wouldn't he?
That's what he did at Birmingham, and he landed them in the shit. So this one here, comment from Eastside, praying a rich Arab comes along. So Grant, are you praying for a rich Arab?
So I don't know if you listen to the Price of Football podcast.
I do.
But I discovered, did you hear this week's one where they were saying about Sheffield United? Yeah, so Sheffield United, so they're owned by the Saudis, owned by a Saudi prince. I was like, oh, wow, they must have loads of money. Turns out he's a Saudi prince with no money, and he's selling the club. So he's hoping to sell the club for 80 to 90 million to make a profit on what he's got. So, yeah, cool. Let's find a rich Arab, but who?
There are thousands of princes.
From what country are they going to come from? And we're not going to worry about any sports washing, or we're not going to worry about human rights in that country or any of that. Because let's be honest, we all have a kick at Newcastle, but if they had bought us, we'd be on Twitter, we'd be defending it to the hill, wouldn't we?
This is the logical one, though, Grant. The logical one is Qatari DR, who are they're the investment arm of the Qatari state, and they're as we know, you've probably seen the show. They've already mopped up a load of the property in and around that stadium anyway, so they're already there. They was interested. There was links going, and there still are links, but they stretch back as far as 2016. So the thing is, right, people just assume automatically that because these guys might be worth multi billions, like the Saudis have bought Newcastle, they were haggling over a few million. In the end they were. So it's not like they'll just go out and pay massively over the odds. If they think that they can hang on and maybe get it for a better deal, they probably will. So for me, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of people that are kind of dismissing that one. I'm not saying that I'm not getting involved in saying morally who I want or anything like that. Listen, do I think the Qataris could be in the mix? Absolutely. Why wouldn't they be?
Nick, it shows that all of the the rumours that the club have dismissed, because Sullivan said, I'm not selling my shares under any circumstances.
He is now, though.
And now he's saying, well, if the right offer comes along, so all of the denials, the dismissals, when they say, oh, they've not heard from this person or this party's not interested, take it with a pinch of salt, right? Because you're never going to know until a deal is nearly done or done, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
That's how it should work.
And also,
our luck, though, don't you?
Go on.
Our luck. We'll get bought by the Qataris, and all the oil will dry up. They'll go bust,
It will, It will.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like if they buy us, they're fucked.
Yeah. It'd be worse if they bought Spurs, though. I think that'd be the final nail in the coffin, wouldn't it?
I
was going to say, I love Gio and Gonzo. I love the pair of them, and it was a really good video that he done earlier on. But I loved how he kind of was really careful about how the way he described Hugh South and to provide sort of credibility for it. And yes, Hugh Southern has got credibility because he has got links in with the board. But when he mentioned, they didn't just make their money out of dildos, they were very serious businessmen. They were involved in a national newspaper. What was a national newspaper, Gary?
The Sunday Sport.
Eyebrow. Yeah.
So
hard hitting journalism.
Yeah.
I know it was. He did skirt around that one a little bit, but he does clearly. Hugh South and others have got links in with the board. They have.
Yeah.
They do get information from them.
Yeah, and the fact that article appeared on Claret U. Hidden kind of amongst all the other articles, so as to just let it out subtly, no big hoo-ha. It kind of tells you all you want to need to know. So moving on, so I think that's a good topic. I think I'd welcome a new owner that could take us you know, to potentially the next level is a term that's overused, right? An owner that's ambitious and proactive, you know what I mean, kind of forward thinking, got their finger on the pulse. I like the owners. I like the way they operate at the likes of Brentford,
Brighton.
you know, Brighton. Yeah, that those kind of forward-looking progressive owners. So it ain't just about the money; it's about the way you run the club. Because I think if you're going to come and just throw money at a club, it will take a lot of money, like it did with Man City, like it did with Chelsea. You know, you could be talking 500 million, maybe I think $1 billion Roman Abramovich spent of his own money getting Chelsea to where they got. So it's either a bottomless pit or they come in and they run it properly. And I think that's what Newcastle are trying to do, to be fair to them. They're trying to run it properly. Hello, Luke.
You what, Luke?
How you doing?
So we've got the Moyes in brigade here. We've got Grant and we've got Luke. Moyes in, right? I don't know where Danny sits.
Wind Nick up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's have a vote. So 6 of us here. It's very symmetrical. Who's Moyes out?
Now,
5 out of 6. So
5 out of 6.
So Grant, you're the last man standing. Let's try and convince you.
All
Right?
by myself.
So this week, David Moyes gave several almost, how can I say, there was very similar interviews. I think 3 very, very similar interviews, TalkSport and a couple of other places, where he insisted West Ham are not involved in a relegation battle at all. Our eyes are deceiving us. We can't see that we're full from bottom. That's not actually true. It's not happening. So, do you think we're in a relegation battle or not? Luke?
Go for Luke. Go on. He's just come on.
How you doing, boys? Anyway, it's been a while.
You're right. In at the deep end, Luke.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, just before I go any further, Tommy, in case you think I'm mugging you off and coming on this channel or not on the other channel, I have sent you a message on Twitter which you haven't replied back to, just in case you think I'm on here tonight after about a month, 2 months, whatever it is. I was listening, funny enough, to one of your videos the other day. I think you were with Grant. It must have been about 11 days ago. That's what YouTube said it was. I think it was along the lines of, again, Grant trying to fight an uphill battle against both you and Nick, Gary. About
he put up a good fight, to be fair, didn't
he? He did.
Look, I don't know Grant from Adam, but he likes a lot of my tweets, which I appreciate. He's the only one that does that there, I think. I understand why people would still like Moyes. I don't really get it, but I understand that because I personally, the whole Europa League run, for me, that was amazing. That was an iconic thing that I'll never forget at West Ham. West Ham having an amazing run in Europe. Never experienced that before in my life. So the personal memento, I've kind of got a bit of a thing with him that, thank you for doing that. However, since then, it appears that everything that I liked about him and that he changed West Ham in a positive way to get us to go on a European run in the first place has now been completely dismantled, and everything that all his good work that he apparently did do is now all being undone. And a lot of it is down to him. Moyes himself has come out a lot of things that you can see on the pitch and you can see in the press. A lot of stuff to do with coaches leaving, whether that's down to not being able or wanting to work with him anymore, or the club going, look, we're going to do something else. See you later. You might like working here, but that's it. And it's funny. I had a message of someone. I won't name his name, but of a fan of Instagram the other night who was talking to me about. I think one of West Ham's friendlies they played, and Ben Rama come up to him, and he was talking to him, and he said, "Oh, what's your thing with Moyes?" He said, "I hate him." He said, "He doesn't like me at all." So I don't know why, but he just doesn't like me, and I can't stand the bloke. And that's from Ben Rama's own. There's a picture of him. He had a selfie with him, so I think it's not made up or anything like that. To a level.
I think you can see it though, can't you?
You can.
Really?
I'm just saying that's a little bit more confirmation. He's actually said it to a fan. He said, "You know what? I've had enough. You don't like me."
There's no shocker here. I mean, we all remember the look on his face when he got subbed off against Palace.
Yeah. Oh no.
Exactly. Just I think with me, he's the funny thing. I watched your video the other day. You talked about Rooney's thing about him saying he held him back, and that's a huge thing because really the general consensus is that the manager's in charge is the manager that goes, right, you're good enough. I want you in that team, and I want you to play, and I want you to shoot from 30 yards and make a name for yourself. But when you hear that Rooney's gone. I'm not
Well,
listening to him,
he was forced into that team. You know what it's like when you're at a club and you know there is a big talent in the youth academy. You know about it, didn't you? So he was kind of forced through, and all Rooney was getting from David Moyes was 5 to 10 minutes at the end of games. It just so happened that every time fucking Rooney came on, he'd done something spectacular. But that's the issue. So he ended up forcing his way in. But the trouble is, not every player who could turn out to be a very good Premier League player, a very good player, is going to have that ability to be magic in 5 to 10 minutes. They're not going to be able to do it.
What I would like to overall know, and this is something that fans don't get to hear about, and it's the fans always get called fickle. They always get called emotion, passion, but it's all in the, we can't. The professionals don't like fans because fans are negative, and fans don't always give them, what the applause they think they should get. But I would like to hear why we've gone from a team that I enjoyed watching about 2 years ago when we had Jesse Lingard on, we were on fire. If we weren't winning games, we knew that the players would go out and give 100% and everything like that. Still play not brilliant football, but good enough football. We wouldn't be bored. That might the senses out there. I would like to know, not that it's ever going to happen, but what has happened? Why it's transitioned? Why is it now that it's gone from Moyes the Messiah, who got us to a European semi-final and was the best thing since sliced bread, and he's been fantastic for the club. He's changed players' fortunes. Like Fornals was suddenly one of the most liked players in the team because he's worked great and all this sort of stuff. Beating Liverpool 3-1 at home when everything was gravy. What has happened in the backside of it? Is it just that Noble's retired and all the coaches have fucked off and suddenly he's been left to his own devices and he can't handle it?
I think it's been going before that. It was bad last year though, wasn't it? When we had Noble and Pierce.
Yeah, this is because unfortunately the European run
Irvine lost Irvine. I think Irvine was the brains behind all that.
I think he was. I think he was a brains, but I think he was. I think he was the brains, but I think at the same time, I think listen to an Anton Ferdinand podcast with Gio, and Gio asked him, "How does a manager lose the changing room?" And Anton Ferdinand said, "Look, it's not really down to in the environments that he's been in." He said, and he's been in changing rooms where they've lost where the manager has lost the players. Kerbishley. And he said generally what happens, Kerbishley. And he said generally the manager is purely there to manage people. He said the coaching staff, everything else, they're there to sort of galvanise the team, make it fun, keep it interesting for them on the training pitch, come up with ideas. The manager's job is to be a good manager, is to be a man manager and deal with the players, deal with people. That for me, and he said if you don't do that, he said how the manager loses the dressing room, he said basically that is respect. He said once players start losing respect for the manager, he said it is irrecoverable. He didn't come out and say, by the way, that David Moyes has lost that, but he did say that once the manager has lost that respect, it's gone. You can't get it back.
Now, Nick, do you think the majority of the players want to play for him?
Well, you've heard Antonio now. They're all coming out. They're all outspoken. Antonio's come out. I think it was Craven put the message up there earlier on. Where is it? This one here. Yeah. Antonio's. He said he isn't happy about his playing time. He said, I'm not down for this rotation.
He wants to win his starting place back. That's good. Yeah, surely.
But what I'm saying is,
do we want Antonio to come out and say, you know what? Actually, I'll just sit on the bench. No, I'm getting paid thousands.
Grant, it's disrespectful. If he says I'm not down for this rotation thing, when I'm fit, I want to play. That was his quote. When I'm fit, I want to play. I'm not down for the rotation thing. Then that is no good when you've got a squad. If he wants competition, then he's got to be down for the rotation thing. He's got to be.
Antonio himself was the one that was also clamoring for us to bring in another striker for competition. So he's got what he wants. I don't know if we're
you've had Soufal coming out. You've had Soufal coming out as well.
No.
Antonio is not the most gifted footballer, is he? The fact that he's made it and he's our all-time leading Premier League goal scorer is a real credit to him, isn't it? So I would say that's got to be about self-belief and work ethic and believing that he can do it and he can overcome everyone that's ever said he couldn't do it. And the fact, he was playing non-league in his early 20s. So for him to come out and say, I believe that I'm going to fight for my place. Why is that?
He hasn't said it in those words, though, Grant. He hasn't said it in those words.
So what do you want, Nick? All right, Nick. So what do you want him to say?
I don't expect him to come out and say, I don't believe it. I don't want to be part of the rotation thing. If I'm fit, I want to play. And Coach Soufel's come out and said the same thing. We've had so many characters that have come out just recently. There's no smoke without fire. Ashby is going. He don't want to stay. Johnson's refusing to pursue a new contract. He doesn't want one. There's so many stories coming out concurrently at the moment. I don't think there can be any smoke without fire.
The way Antonio said it was a little bit passive aggressive because he was putting pressure on Scamacca. So he said, listen, Scamacca's playing well. This was months ago. He said Scamacca's playing well. He's scoring goals. He said if there comes to a point where he's not scoring goals, I'm going to want to be back in the team.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind of how he put it. Which I thought was a bit.
He should want that anyway, regardless of whether he's
it's not like Antonio's not used to talking to the media.
Yeah, Grant, I think Grant's right. I can understand why Grant's right. Because I think that any footballer should be saying, "You're not taking my fucking place." It's down to the managers to go, "Well, it's fine."
Any footballer. So if you've got a group like Man City, you would expect all of those players that are not being played by Pep Guardiola to be coming out in the press moaning that they're not in the team, that they want to be part of the team.
I would expect it, but I would want them to want to do that.
You would want them to want it, but you wouldn't. What my problem is coming out and saying it to a reporter in an interview. That's the difference.
It's a bit like, when these international games go on and they forget that their home press is listening, and they'll go away to Italy and Spain and France, whoever they're playing for, and they'll talk about really what they're actually thinking.
They're not stupid though, Luke. They're not stupid. They put these things out on social media. These players are using social media all the time. They know they say something.
What I'm saying is if they're asked by Sky Sports or by a West Ham reporter while they're playing for the club, they go, "How you getting on at the club? You enjoying yourself?" I go, "Yeah, because I love playing for the club. I love playing for the fans. I love West Ham. Brilliant, fantastic, more of it." And then they'll go away on international duty for 2 weeks, and then a reporter from their own country will go, "How's it going at West Ham?" They go, "That's a bit shit actually, and not really doing what I want them to do." But I've been sold a dream. I've not really been given it yet. So hopefully, if the manager sorts himself out, they come back and go, "Yeah, I'm going to throw West Ham again. Yeah, brilliant, fantastic." That's how it goes.
No, I agree with you. I agree, and that goes for a lot of stuff when you're talking about interviewing foreign players in the foreign press. Sometimes the translations are done favourably to create a story, right?
Yeah.
And that's what could have been true about Soufal in the last couple of weeks as well.
Personally, by the way, just on my last point with Moyes in or out, I actually kind of think I think you said it before, Nick, in the video that I watched about 10 days ago. There's no point sacking him now, almost, because they had the chance prior to the World Cup.
I would only sack him. Oh, you got to sack him if we don't win these next 3 games, Luke. We'll be cemented in the bottom 3.
No, but this I'm saying, because I think you're going to go past that thing again, because they're not going to go and sack him and bring in a manager that's going to take us forward for the next 5 years. They're going to bring a manager like Sean Dice.
Hang on, Grant. So if we lose the next, Luke, if we lose the next 3 games, you're saying stick with him?
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit!
I don't know about that.
I'll tell you what, not for the sake of me, the fans, right? But this is the whole GSB out thing. This is
so you're just saying, let's just go down. Let's go down.
But
I don't think Luke is thinking that we're going to go
fall into his trap, Luke.
If we lose the next 3, we are cemented in that bottom 3.
But we had this mentality prior to the World Cup anyway. He should have gone after the Leicester game. If they're going to sack him, he should have gone after the Leicester game.
Yeah, he should have gone.
But he hasn't, right?
I'd have sacked him after Everton.
Now, if we go down, right, there should be more protests to get GSB out, because they are the ones that stuck by him, and it's by their own purse that they've gone, "Nah, do you know what, we'll keep him on it because he's the man to get us out again." He's double-edged sword. He's based both the man in their eyes, if he could somehow by miracle propel us up the league, and also he's the best man to keep us 17th and not break us go down. So for them, he's the best of both worlds, and that's the problem. Is that if he gets sacked, we ain't going to get anyone better than Moyes if he gets sacked at this stage of the season. They're not going to go. No. 100% no.
You're honestly saying there's no one out there better than Moyes available to us.
Luke, can I say something? Can I make one comment? Right, if we lose the next 3 games, I think we would all agree that something would need to be badly wrong at West Ham. It would be clearly right. If it looked like the mood of the players was on the arse, do you not think that if Moyes is the reason that there is a cloud over the club and that they're doing that by removing Moyes, you remove the cloud?
Yeah, but what I mean is I don't trust the board to make a decent enough decision at this point now.
Stick him with him and a decent decision.
But they've stuck with him. Whether you like it or not, they've stuck with him. That is their decision. They've basically they've shit themselves in the toilet and they're scrubbing it away with a toilet brush. And
let Danny. What do you think, mate, about it? Go on.
So I'm Moyes out as things stand.
Yeah,
I understand that there's a sentiment that we're going to give him 3 more games, and sort of he's got 3 games to keep or lose his job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily be Moyes in even if we were to somehow win these 3 games.
Yeah.
But to Luke's point, I don't know if we would go down if Moyes keeps his job for the rest of the season. I don't. It
depends. It depends on the next 3 games, mate.
They're going to say a lot, but the bigger picture is I don't think we're going to be in. I expect things to improve a little bit, but I don't expect them to get too much worse.
No.
I think we'll stay in there. Who knows? Maybe he gets to keep his job if he delivers some sort of trophy. We're not. What are we still in the Conference League? We're still in the FA Cup, which we haven't started in yet. But
now, I'm not one to play one guest off against another. I would never do that. But Tommy,
fight.
Do you think there is nobody better than Moyes out there?
Oh, that's not what
available
I said,
to us.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That isn't what I said.
Blatantly did.
It's not. I'll tell you.
You said at this point in the season. You said at this point in the season.
Hold on. Right. I'm talking about the only. To us fans.
That's so shitty.
To us fans, there's 10 managers out there that are better than him, at least. To the board,
there's more than 10.
They've got to pay more money to get him out. What I'm saying is what is the difference? Why have the board not sacked him prior to the World Cup, and what difference does it make to them to sack him 3 games? What is the difference? Why they?
The difference is, Luke, if they're looking at selling the club, they don't want to get relegated, do they? Because it'll be worth half as much as it is now.
And they don't want to sign a new manager to a new contract.
What I'm saying, we're stuck with, in my opinion, we're stuck with Moyes, whether we like it or not. Right?
You got Warburton, but the thing is, we're all forgetting Warburton. I don't want him, but he's been positioned. He's been positioned in there, isn't he? He's a manager.
I didn't think Moyes would have the impact that he did when he came. I thought it was a cheap option. He shouldn't have come back in the first place. But then he come back second time round. He done well to rejuvenate us. I will give any manager a chance.
That's fine. So Tommy, Luke thinks that there's no better manager than Moyes out there at the moment. What are your thoughts on that?
Why did I come back on? Right, the baby don't care. I think feeding the baby is more interesting than here now. Fucking hell, Daddy Luke, welcome back. Fucking pit of fire. Fucking hell. I told you.
This is why I'm back. This is why
I told you I prefer Gary. I prefer Gary. I told you.
This is Luke's bedtime story for his newborn baby. Look, congratulations, by the way.
That's what I do.
He just plays it on loop.
That's what I do.
I was waiting for that until rather than what's your opinion on Moyes? You've angered me already. You're not polite. Welcome back. You ain't been on for 3 months.
It helps, Luke.
But the newborn baby. We want to know about Moyes a bit more. Fucking hell. Unbelievable.
Okay. Anyway, go on, Tommy. So back to what we were just saying. What are your thoughts anyway?
If it helps, Luke, I've sent you the link at 10 o'clock. So if you want to jump ship, at 10 o'clock, you can join me over there.
Rather change your dirty nappy at this point, mate. I think.
Yeah, look, it's no secret. I wanted him sacked as soon as we broke up for the World Cup. I thought it was a golden opportunity to do it.
Same here.
Get a new manager in, give him essentially a pre-season, and also it would give that manager an opportunity to work with the club to work with Rob Newman specifically to identify targets in January that he feels he needs. I do think he will get sacked if results don't improve, and I think that would happen quite quickly. I don't think he'll survive January if we continue to play the way we are and we continue to lose games. But here's also where I'm at with this now. Because the board had that opportunity and they decided to row in behind David Moyes, whatever happens from here on in is on the board as far as I'm concerned. Yes. I'm no longer blaming Moyes going forward. No, not to say I won't criticize him for bad performance or bad tactics. He still deserves criticism for bad results and bad tactics. He's the manager. But ultimately, for me now, all the blame going forward is going to lie with the board. They had.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Right thing. Yeah. They didn't do it, and now if this goes tits up when we resume on Monday. And again against Brentford, Leeds, we've got Everton, Chelsea games.
It's their fault. It's their
fault. Listen, Tommy.
Now,
we know.
As far as I'm concerned, the board are carrying the can now.
Tommy, and we know through history the only way we will get the manager out is if it turns to balled out.
Yeah.
If it changes to balled out, because he's like a firewall for them at the moment. He gets all the crap. They just sit behind him. Yeah. He takes all the shit.
First time the coin at Sullivan's feet.
And I also have a question, Tommy. To your point, if they were going to sack Moyes, you say, before the World Cup to identify targets for January, do you really think the board would have spent money on said targets that new manager had identified?
Within reason. Yeah, I think there would be some money there. I don't think we're skint. I suspect that the reason Moyes is saying, well, we're probably not going to spend anything in January. We know, number one, he doesn't like doing that anyway. But I suspect the fact that he was given 180 million quid-ish in the summer and he hasn't been able to make that work and we've actually gone backwards and we look worse. I wouldn't fucking give him any money in January either. I doubt the board are willing to back him in January to any great kind of tune. I wouldn't give him any money either. I'd say, you got the fucking money. We got you the players. Now go out and make it work and don't be coming to us saying I need players in January because you're not fucking getting them. I'd back a new manager. I wouldn't
give him another penny.
Listen, there is this theory. That you've got to back the manager when they are the manager of West Ham to the bitter end, no matter what they do, no matter how good or bad they are. And some people think like that, and I can't help it. That's the way they feel, right? So imagine,
Grant, that's not you, by the way. You back Moyes because you like him. That's different.
Yeah, exactly. But there are certain people who think that way, and Paul, our cousin, is one of them, right? He feels that he feels that way. So imagine this, right? Warburton, who has had amazing success over the years as an investment banker, right? He's the golden gecko of football. Greed is good. If he suddenly took over as West Ham manager, would you be excited by that? Would you be?
It all depends on the football, Gary. If he came in until the end of the season, I don't think. I'll tell you what. I would rather give Warburton a chance. I think it was who said it. Someone said it last week. It was Jonathan on the call. He said, and he was Moyes in all the way, and now he's teetering. He's like, if he went, I wouldn't mind. But he said if Warburton was to, especially in our current situation, which is logical, the issue you've got is disruption. When you bring someone new in, whoever it is, even if it's the best manager in the world, it's going to take time for them to implement their strategy. He said the only sense that it would make by giving it to Warburton is that at least you've got some consistency there.
Because
he's been working with them.
You remember the Roda effect, where the players all loved Roda, and as soon as who got fired before Roda? It was Redknapp, wasn't it? When Redknapp got fired, the players, including Joey Cole and everybody, gathered round Roda and said, "You've got to, because he's a brilliant coach, you've got to hire Roda." I wonder if Warburton's been feathering his nest in the same way.
I don't know.
What do you reckon?
We'll never know. We'll never know. But I do think that it's been going bad before Warburton came in. Though I mean, like I say, that the second part of last season wasn't great, and that was with Pearce, that was with Noble, that was without Warburton, and all this season has been as a continuation of that. We've still been performing well in Europe, just like we did last year, but the league has been shit.
Right, I've got to step away for a minute. We're going to do the quiz probably at the top of the hour. Go through some comments, Nick.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, go on. That's all right. What's this? So we've got Christian here. He says, I did find it funny in a TalkSport interview that Moyes said we're in a European battle in the league, and then the one on YouTube, someone's clearly told him. This is something I said the other day, the show this morning with John. Do you think, in terms of the interview the interviews that David Moyes has done, so I'll start with Luke. Do you think Moyes has had any input in terms of the script that was clearly sort of read out, because both interviews were basically the same? And if he did, do you think it was ill-advised? Do you think he believes it, or do you think he looks uncomfortable and that's the club making him say something that he don't really want to say? What do you reckon?
Well, this is me having baby brain now because I sort of remember what he said and then I sort of don't. And then my baby was crying at the time, so I've forgotten half of it.
Just go with the fact. I'll give you the basically what he said was the high level was we're not in a relegation battle. We're fighting for Europe, and he kind of brushed over the facts that with our bad form by basically saying we've been unlucky. He referred to the Nottingham Forest game where we hit the post 3 times. He referred to the Liverpool game with the last minute goal.
Yeah.
He said there's a couple of things that could have gone our way that would have made a massive difference. But like I said, it balances out because there's been games this year that we've won and got points from that we probably shouldn't have as well. There have been.
I think he's at a point like he was with the game when he took Benrahma off and all the fans disagreed with him. He's reached that sort of defence mechanism stage now where I don't really, honestly, to this day, I don't know any pro manager that's ever gone, do you know what, I was wrong. I've got it wrong so far. I do apologise. I'll try and make things better. They all tend to go, well, it's not really my fault. There's other things. There's referees. There's players that turn up. And so I can understand, well, he does it every day without even when he's successful, never mind when he's losing. I do believe that he's probably been given it. He's not a script. I don't think he's a script. I think he would say what he wants to say, but I think to the point there is the delusion to what he says.
That makes it worse.
He doesn't want. He doesn't want people to press the panic button just yet, and he's trying to pick a positive out of what someone's trying to get him to admit a negative. Someone's trying to get him to say, "Yeah, it's pretty bad at the minute, but hopefully we'll drag ourselves out of it." It's going, well, no, hold on, we're still in Europe. You know, we in fairness. If we did somehow, just technically, somehow win the next 3 games, we are in probably.
100%. We could turn it around. It could happen.
In the most West Ham way possible. We won't do, but we could.
We could turn it around. But these next 3 games are critical because if we win the next 3 games, we're out. We're up in the top 10. We've forgotten about all this crap, and we're out of it. But if we lose them, and you can't. It's hard to look past not losing them because of our recent form. Yeah. If we lose them, then we're going to be cut adrift. Whereas a few months before the break, people were saying, "Oh, look up the table. You're only 6 points from 8th place." If you look at because after the Leeds game, Luke, we've got Everton and we've got Wolves, which is 2 more 6-pointers. So if you don't get good results in the next 5 games, we could be 6 points away from 17th.
My thing at the moment is, and correct me if I'm wrong, right now, the mood in the camp as a West Ham fan base is not particularly to do with results, right?
It's style of play.
To do with the style of play and the tactics and the fact that little things like Souček playing over and over again when clearly just play. So as much as it's it's almost like it's Mourinho-ish, right? Because you can win a game, but at the moment Moyes is doing it in the most soul-suckingly destroying way. Yeah, you go, we won, but who the fuck cares? Do you know what I mean?
You just feel when you win, you feel relief rather than when you've really battered someone or you played really well. You tend not to get that feeling. We've had a few nights like that, but
I mean, one of the things I took from it when he keeps prattling on about, we were unlucky in this game and unlucky in that game, and we've been lucky in other games too. It just suggested to me, which is not a surprise if I'm completely honest, is that he really does think that we're doing all right and we just need a bit more luck and we'll win games. It suggests to me that he doesn't think there's anything particularly wrong. He just thinks we need to just be a little more clinical and we'll start winning games.
He thinks we've been unlucky. That's what he said, right?
I don't think we're where we are because we've been a bit unlucky.
I agree.
I think, our football has been tepid. It's been directionless. It's been disjointed. We're struggling to score goals. Scamacca's completely isolated. He doesn't have a clue how to deploy Paqueta. I think we've got a lot of problems, and I don't think he sees those problems, and that's why I don't think he will turn it around, because I don't think he thinks there's that much gone wrong.
I gotta say, I agree with what Nick said the other day. I think he was kind of basically reading out prepared PR statements, right? He was reading out prepared PR statements, because if he wasn't, he was basically gaslighting the whole fan base, because he was basically saying to us, now, whether you like Moyes or you don't like Moyes, you want to stick with Moyes, you don't want to stick with Moyes, you can't deny what's been before your eyes all season. And especially in the last few games, it has been shit, right? And he can't tell us it hasn't been shit. He can't say we were unlucky. We weren't unlucky against Everton, against Palace, against Leicester. We weren't unlucky. We deserved it. We deserved what we got. Nothing.
No,
Right.
that's it.
But what's someone's definition of unlucky compared to someone else's definition of unlucky?
Well,
That's the
unlucky would be Forest, would be Chelsea, right? Two examples, and that's the only two examples, right?
Unlucky is playing someone off the park and not getting a result.
Yeah, but that's you two's perception of unlucky.
What would you say?
But what is Moyes? That's
What,
what I'm saying.
playing shit and failing to shit out a win is unlucky.
He would prefer. He would prefer to shit house a 1-0 win and go, that's a brilliant result, that is. We shit house the fuck out of that. Whereas most people go, you know what, we need some pride. If we could win a game with pride, that's fine. It's a bit like, you know, when you go through, there's a bloke that's going through a divorce, and the missus is shagging someone else, and she tells him don't love him, and the divorce is going through. He's in the pub with his mate going, she still loves me. She definitely still loves me. She loves me. He goes, no, mate, she's not.
That's what it's like. It's in denial, right? He's in denial of what's going on.
He's telling us what we're seeing is not what we're really seeing.
John, I think
exactly that.
I think John's got a good point here, Luke, and I think this was John's.
This is about me, isn't it?
Yeah, no, not at all. No, what he's saying
I didn't mean what I said.
No, but no, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if they decide to stick with Moyes, say the next 3 games go badly, and they go, no, we're going to stick with him. Well, then what they've got to do is they've got to invest in giving money in January. Do you think they're going to do that?
No, because you're just giving him all the budget over the summer.
I don't think they're giving him all the budget, mate. All they've done is they've forward funded the Rice money. They've forward funded the Rice money, mate. That's all they've done now.
No, I don't agree with that because we don't know how much we're going to get for Rice. I hope we are compensated.
We're not going to get 180 million, but we'll get a lot. We'll get a fair lump for him.
It's worth it. What I'm saying, when have you ever known, apart from maybe the Pellegrini era, us to almost release 4 players on a free and then go and spend that amount of money to bring in players that are good enough, you know, and then not being able to. So, you know, I would like us, if we do sack Moyes, to go and bring in someone.
Well, look, we're a top half Premier League club, Luke. But at some points, we're going to have funds there that we can splash. You know, Premier League, so much money in the Prem now. Every once in a while, you are going to be in a position to push the boat out a little bit.
If we hadn't spent as much in the summer, I'd agree with you. But I can't see them twice in the season going, here's 180 million. And I
was referring to the summer, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't. Right, lads, I've got to go because otherwise Mr. going to kill me.
All right, no worries, mate. Cheers for joining.
See you later, Luke. Merry Christmas, Luke.
Merry Christmas, Luke.
Merry Christmas, mate.
Take care, buddy.
Shut up, lads, a minute. Thank you very much to Barney Moorhead, who's sticking up for me in the comments all day long.
Basically, anyone who he's anyone against me, Luke. Basically, Barney. So, yeah.
Anyway, it's good to come on after about a month and a half, whatever it is, and I'm disappointed in myself because I was going to come on eloquently and make my point instead of just getting into a slagging match with you, Nick, which is just so gutting. Anyway, right, love you all. Up
before you go, Luke, what do you think of my new tattoo, mate? Just add because you know I'm a bit of a messy fanboy, so I've had this done on my inner thigh. What are your thoughts on that one?
That's a veiny cup, isn't it?
Hey. That's good. It's right on me in the fire. It's a good likeness, though, isn't it? What do you reckon?
That's you in an Argentina shirt, sucking on Moyes' member, isn't it? Don't know what there, mate.
That's brilliant.
That's a Moyes tattoo. He's telling you it's brilliant, and actually it's not. No, it's shit. What are you talking about? It's like
it's an unlucky tattoo.
Anyway, all right, mate. We'll let you go. Get back to you, baby, and congratulations, mate, as well.
Yeah, congratulations, Luke.
Enjoy baby's first Christmas.
Yeah, God, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Don't put on claret and booze for next week. Blood pressure down. Well, yeah.
See you later.
See you later on.
Cheers,
mate. Right. So look, where's this quiz, Gary, that you've been promising?
Well, we're going to do it at the top of the hour. We're going to do it at, just waiting for West Ham Fan TV to go off, to be honest. But we'll do it at the top of the hour. So let's look forward. We've looked backwards a lot. We've had the usual go at Moyes. Yeah. That's all very predictable. But let's look forward with optimism. I know it's difficult. I'm going to this game now, Nick, on Monday.
Oh, cool.
I'm going with Phil, your mate.
Good stuff.
So yeah. So that'll be good.
Remind me of the photo, Gary.
So anyway, out of order, Nick.
It's still funny.
we're going. I mean, we're going away to Arsenal. Arsenal have got a ton of injuries. We've got a handful of very important injuries ourselves, right? Yeah. But there's nothing to say we can't get some points out of this game at Arsenal, right? If we approach the game in the right way, in a positive mindset, and don't go there with, expecting, you know what I mean? Like we did last year. Me and you went there to the Emirates last year, Nick, and we basically spent the first half sitting back, letting them attack us.
This is a good time to play Arsenal. If there is a good time to play them, they was flying. That break has come at a bad time for them. It's come at a good time for us.
I don't want to put words. I don't want to annoy you even more. But Moyes was asked the question: is it a good time to play Arsenal? And his response today was: the best time to play Arsenal was 3 years ago.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Arteta got there
3 years ago. I'll tell you what. That fucking rightly made me laugh when he said that. Because he's never fucking beaten these clubs once away from home.
He hasn't.
And it's going back a lot longer than fucking 3 years. So there's no good time to play these teams ever away from home.
No. But if you're going to look at any scenario, Tommy, this is the best time to play them.
Unless David Moyes is your manager. He does not win these games, Nick. Ever.
Oh, Tommy, I'm trying my best to be positive.
Something games, Nick.
Keeping the energy of that opening song, and it's bringing the room down.
I know.
Yeah. The best time to play Arsenal is the best time to play Arsenal away for us will be as soon as the next manager gets that.
That's right. Nick's got the stat, and what was the stat, Nick? He's had 69 attempts against the big.
It's hilarious.
Liverpool,
Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Yeah, 69, and he's 69 attempts, no wins. Right?
Yeah.
This is his 70th attempt in management. So, and I was looking back today, and this will be mentioned on the quiz very soon. Right? We have got a shit record on Boxing Day. We really have got a shit record. It's deplorable, actually. It's really, really bad. So my hopes are not up for this one, but. Let's be optimistic. Let's think that we put a good team out. I think you and John put out a decent team last night. Run through the team that you and John selected last night, Nick.
Well, because of the news that Cresswell is back, obviously Fabianski in goal. Cresswell, we're going to anticipate that Aguirre is not going to play because we still don't really know what his injury status is.
Yeah.
And we don't know. We only came back today. He came back on the 23rd, so he's not going to play. So it's probably going to be Dawson and Kehrer, I would imagine, in the middle. I think he'll play Soufal, although John made a good point after Soufal's comments, where he's basically said if he doesn't play me, I'm going to want to leave. That's the type of thing, as John said. Well, if Moyes kind of reacts to that and bends over effectively, he said then he's going to start losing the respect of the players and stuff. He said he shouldn't do that. He should be strong. But anyway, we said Soufal, Kehrer, Dawson, Cresswell. I said we was going to go 4-3-3. I was going to put Downs in the middle, so he could be almost the deeper of the three, with Rice on the left and Paqueta on the right of the three. The reason I said that, and I don't want to see a 4-2-3-1, like a lot of people are calling, with Paqueta in the two that sit in front of the defence, is because in our experience from what we've seen of Paqueta, he does lose the ball a bit. He loses the ball a bit. It's a bit of a worry for that to happen just in front of your your defence. And the front three pick themselves. It's going to be Benny, Antonio, and Bowen.
Yeah.
All right, chaps. I do have to pop off now.
No worries, Tommy. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining.
Merry Christmas,
Thanks, Tommy. Merry Christmas, Tommy.
And to you guys. Cheers.
Merry Christmas, mate. See you later.
Thank you for not shouting at me this time, Tommy.
Did you get? Oh yeah, no, he did it on the phone, didn't he? Last time. That's the highest I've ever heard his voice go. That was.
So it's just the four of us now. It's very cozy. And Danny, I just boosted your mic a little bit to give you a bit more presence because you were getting talked over earlier. So
that's okay. I can always do this.
That's better.
That's better. Put it in your mouth.
It. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Put that trophy on the screen back.
Yeah, that's it.
So the West Ham network have gone offline, thank God. So hopefully that's good. That's good.
West Ham Fan TV, you mean?
West Ham Fan TV. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
West Ham network. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do the quiz at the top of the hour. But let's until then talk about this Arsenal game. So if we put that team out and the team that Nick mentioned, and I think that is a progressive team when you're talking about Downs and Rice and Paqueta, because that part especially, that means Downs sits, that means Rice is allowed to go forward, And it means Paqueta is allowed to be the creator and a little bit more freedom. And Downs is going to sit behind him and tidy up when he gets caught in possession or when he makes a fuck up or something like that, right? It gives him options up ahead of him. It gives him Rice, Benrahma, Antonio, and Bowen. So he's got plenty to aim at. So for me, if Moyes chose that team and we went out there with the right attitude and went at Arsenal and we lost 2-0, I'd be quite happy with that. Right, I wouldn't be happy because we lost.
Mike Ashley.
I wouldn't be happy because we've lost. Right, but I would be happy that we've been positive.
You wouldn't be raging with the defeat if we put in a good performance.
No, I would not be raging. No way. I'll be moderate, and that would give me some hope going into the.
Obviously, wouldn't be happy with the defeat, but
So if we did,
Grant, you're smiling, mate. When we lost to Leicester and we put in the game we put in a slightly better performance, I was not raging when I did my post-match review.
He gave credit.
I gave credit. I give credit. I don't want to see my team not go out and be on the front foot and sit there and fucking wait until you're 1 goal or 2 goals down before you decide to play fucking football. I don't want my team to do that. That's what pisses me off. That's all it is. That's all
when me and you, Nick, went to the Emirates last year, it was that was how not to play at Arsenal. It was to go there and try and defend your way through the first half, get into the second half, get late in the game and nick a goal. And we conceded a goal straight after half time, and then they got another one, and it was just
But the thing is, do you know what I don't get? This is a free hit, right? It is a free hit. They're a good team. They're not prime Barcelona. They're playing fucking well at the moment. Their team this year has been built around Gabriel Jesus, who ain't going to be playing. They're only going to have Nketiah up front now. So they're going to have him. They're still going to be a good team. They're going to be a threat. But there is no reason why you have to go to these places and be full of fear and give them so much respect, because we've got fucking good players. You should be going out. You should be getting aggressive, getting in their faces. If they're better on the ball than you, don't give them the fucking ball. Right. You know, that's the thing.
What Ken Hammer says, what quiz? There is a quiz at the top of the hour, so that'll be 10 o'clock. It's a Christmas West Ham quiz where you're going to have to mark your own homework and tell us if you won or not.
Yeah.
Right. So we need honesty as well. Right. There's a lot of things at play here. So Grant, if Moyes, I mean, you're kind of a Moyes supporter anyway, but you know, is that what you're looking for as well? Out of curiosity.
I would be amazed if he starts Downs, Rice, and Paqueta as his midfield three.
Yeah. Who would you start as your midfield three then?
It doesn't matter who I'd start. He's not going to start that. So
can we get off the fence? Who would you start? It does matter.
What about Souček?
Your manager. Who would you start? It's your team. Who would you play?
Who would I? Well, yeah, I'd do. If away to Arsenal.
Yes.
I would probably go with Downs, Fornals, and Rice as my three.
I don't disagree with that either. I don't disagree with that.
I think I'd like to know who their three is, but yeah, in some ways I could see you could. All right, so I'll play Paqueta then, and then I'll stick him on Xhaka, but then I think that's a race to see who gets the first yellow card and who gets sent off first, because those two will just kick lumps out of each other. So if you can, you know, if that works in your favour, then that's all great. That's good, because you're going to get Xhaka sent off. Yeah. Somebody's going to have to pick up Partey and deal with his energy. And then who's their third midfielder going to be? Is it going to be Odegaard?
It's Odegaard. They play with Partey,
Xhaka,
and Odegaard. Yeah.
He's going to get he's going to get the start.
Yeah.
And then we're assuming they're going to go Zach.
It'll be Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah up top. Yeah, the front three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, what
that'd
you
be
just
weird,
said there,
though.
Grant.
Do you think that's actually what you think they'll do? Do you think they will? I know I've seen.
It's what they've been doing all season.
Nketiah's not really offering much, is he? But
Grant, you joined us in dropping Souček, right? You dropped Souček with your formation as well, so you obviously agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to let the
man's
frustration get
was
to you.
Shot. I was at Fulham last weekend. His confidence is shot. You can't take the ball in. He doesn't want the ball. It's tough.
He doesn't like
me,
it. And Brentford were the first team to figure this out last season, right? Where he doesn't like people in his face.
He don't like it up him.
Brighton do it. Brighton,
He hates. He got exposed so quickly after having such like a meteoric rise almost with us from when he came in the January transfer window a few seasons ago, and like how quickly it's all gone downhill.
But if you look at his style there, Danny, I think his style when he first came in, that was rampaging runs into the box, not necessarily with the ball. He was kind of causing
chaos in the air.
Yeah, but now when you're a bit deeper, it's fine winning the ball back, but then you've got to try and do something with it. And as we've all just said, we've all identified it. He can't cope under pressure.
No,
when there's
he is good in the air, though. That's one thing he's kept.
When Souček first came here, Dek was sitting, right? He was sitting and letting Souček get forward. And then as Dek progressed, he wanted to get more forward. And so they sort of tried to balance it up, didn't they? And that's where the problems have come from. If we went back to that formation of Dek sitting, Souček going forward, that'd probably be all right? But it's not going to happen.
Dek will do at Chelsea next season, isn't it? Dek will sit next year at Chelsea.
Oh yeah,
won't allow him to go forward.
Chelsea. He won't mind doing that. For England, but he minds doing it for us. He minds doing it for us.
But I think Gary, I think it is different. I think you're looking at two different scenarios. So the trouble is, Rice is better. You probably would be. Rice is also better going forward than any of the other central midfielders that we've got as well. Whereas when Declan Rice plays in Chelsea or he plays in a Man City team, then he's not. He's a central defensive midfielder. But the issue is we've got no ball carriers from deep. So we need Dek to pick the ball up and drive with it, because who else will do that in the middle of the park? Souček can't do it. There is no one else.
He does have to offer off the ball, though.
If we played Paqueta and Rice, Grant, then I would say Declan Rice, you hold.
Yeah.
You shield. That's what I would say.
You could play Fornals, Rice, and Paqueta. I don't know if you want to do that away to Arsenal.
Why not? I think you've got to hold the ball, because it's always a worry. Like I said, if the team is that good on the ball, like they are, don't give it to them. Just try and hold it yourself. Maybe put a few more technical players in. The other thing that I said on the show with John was if Aguerd was fit, I don't think it'd be a bad strategy to play the centre backs as Kehrer and Aguerd, because they haven't got an aerial threat. Arsenal in this front line, they haven't got an aerial threat. They're all pace. So I think that would probably work against them, but I don't know.
I would be really, really cautious with Aguerd. I'm not even sure.
Dawson worries me.
I wouldn't. I'm not sure. In the state that Aguerd's in, I'm not sure I'd bring him back before the FA Cup to Brentford. I'd give him as much time as he needs.
I'd certainly save him. I'd save him for Brentford, wouldn't you? You'd save him for that game.
Him for Brentford.
We need him. We need him for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't rush him.
No.
Danny, Craig Dawson in recent weeks has started looking like the Craig Dawson we thought we bought. As in his age is getting to him. Do you think that's it, or do you think his mind's somewhere else? What do you think of Dawson? Is he kind of done?
It's hard to say, really, especially with I just saw John's comment about it's almost like the start of a new season. Okay, but I know he's been dealing with his personal family issues. Apparently he's been living up north and having to commute.
Yeah,
I don't know if those issues have gone away during this break.
Apparently not.
And that's got to weigh on you just psychologically, I'm understanding of that. And if he's on his way out, then so be it. But if he's not, if his mind's not here, his heart's not with West Ham, it's not of any fault of the club necessarily, but
part of me says with him, right, is just what he did last season was a beautiful thing, and he will forever be a cult hero at West Ham.
Yeah,
right. He was amazing.
I feel rotten for us refusing his move.
Yeah. And so, if he does get a move in January and he moves on, he goes with everyone's best wishes and everything else. What I wouldn't like to see is him to see another stay another half a season and deteriorate.
Like be in poor form and deal with maybe getting. I don't imagine that. I don't know, to stay long enough to play poorly enough to catch some abuse. I don't want to see any of that.
In a way, it's like Moyes outstaying his welcome, right? It's like he's been great. He's been great, and he's got a chance to just fuck off, and he keeps hanging around.
Yeah. I know. Well, he's not going to walk away. Who would walk away from millions? No one would they? So it's always going to come down to.
Some of the Dawson problem is Dawson's been having to play with Oggy, and Oggy's done. And that I love Oggy, but he's just had he's 35, 34, 35. He's just had a major knee injury. Neither of those two have any pace. Oggy is still good on the ball, but that's not a good combination. If we go into the Arsenal game with them two at centre back, we're done because that's a scary prospect.
It is. So, I agree.
Dawson, if you put Dawson with Aguerd and Aguerd's pace, then actually you think, you know what, you got the old-fashioned centre back in Dawson, and you got the recovery pace and the ball playing and organisation of Aguerd. I'd be happy.
Well, it might be all right, but the more technical defender, the better defender is Ogbonna. So if you're going Ogbonna versus Dawson, neither of them have got pace, right? Neither of them have got pace, but one of them is far more technical than the other. Ogbonna is a superior defender in every way than Dawson. Dawson is blood and guts.
But the trouble is, Oggy does look like he's lost a lot of pace. So.
Apparently Marseille are in for Ogbonna.
Yeah.
So, nice slow French league might suit him.
What about what Reece Barber said there? On his question, do you think that Rice will be match fit? I mean, he was one of the players that came back early. So they were the players that went to the World Cup, even the likes of fucking Kero, who got knocked out in the group stages. They weren't asked to come back until the 23rd.
He didn't come back till yesterday, did he?
He didn't come back till yesterday. Declan Rice came back a couple of days early. He was back on Wednesday. So we've had a few players back in training.
He was at the Fulham game.
Yeah, no, I know. But he only started training on Wednesday, I think. Do you think I think Rice will be fit because he's a fit kid. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. For me, all I want to see is because it'll be telling. It's the performance, because that will tell us where the team is, because I will always gauge it. If Moyes looks like he's got that team and they are backing him and they're playing for him, that's different. But when it looks like people ain't putting in 100%, you got that's a fucking worry, Grant. It really is. Yeah. At that point,
I don't think we've seen that yet. No. In all honesty, in any of the games. So I don't think he's lost the dressing room. I think Anton Ferdinand is right. Right. So we're 22:08. We've got 122. I think we'll start the quiz, shall we? We start the quiz. We come back to Arsenal after this.
Yeah.
So this is the Christmas quiz.
Go
on Claret and Booze, the West Ham Christmas quiz. Now, to explain the rules, you're all marking your own homework, right? So no cheating, honest scores only.
Yeah.
Don't put your answers in the chat, right? I'm just going to go through. There are 9 questions. Each have got a certain amount of points. Even though some of them are a little bit obscure, they're all guessable, right? And where they're not guessable, I've kind of given you a little bit of a helping hand. But some of them will be, from recent memory or near recent memory, right? That you should be able to get, right? So grab yourself a pen and paper, and I'm gonna start.
Apparently, Kent wins all the quizzes.
Kent wins. Well, we haven't got Nigel Khan in here tonight, because what I was going to do if Nigel joined, I know he had something else that he had to go to. What I was going to do with Nigel this time is say, right, there's 20 points up for grabs. If you get 17, I was going to award those 3 points to everybody else.
Right. Hang on 1 minute.
No Googling either. Exactly, Mandy. No Googling. So no cheating. Do this off the top of your head, because we can all Google the answers. We can all cheat. And I want you to honestly put your scores in the chat as soon as we get to the end of question 9. Right?
Yeah.
So here we go. Question number 1. This is worth one point. Up until the 1958 to 1959 season, clubs were expected to play twice against local opposition, the same local opposition, on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Now, the reason I'm asking this question is because it was in the West Ham News Now feed this week. In that last season, in 1958-59, West Ham did the double over a local rival, winning 2-1 on Christmas Day at home, followed by a 4-1 away win. Who were the opponents? Worth 1 point.
Oh, God, I thought you said it was going to be easy. Right.
Well, it's a local London opponent.
Well, I'll just pick one. All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's guessable.
Okay.
Question 2. Now you should all get this. Worth 1 point. 26th of December 1990. A rampant West Ham beat the second place team 2-0 at Upton Park in the old Division 2. The opponents would eventually go on to win Division 2 by 1 point, leaving us in second place. Who were they?
Right.
You repeat the question.
Okay, 26th of December 1990. West Ham beat the second place team 2-0 at Upton Park. The opponents would eventually go on to win the old Division 2, which is now the Championship, by 1 point, leaving us in second place. Who were they? Okay, you ready for question 3?
Yeah.
Question 3. Worth 2 points. On Boxing Day 2000, this is a game I went to. We had a rare, emphatic win on Boxing Day against local rivals. Who was the opponent and who scored an absolutely cracking volley? I think it was goal of the month, actually.
Repeat the question, Gal. When was it?
Boxing Day year 2000. We had an emphatic home win against local rivals. Who was the opponent and who scored the best goal in the game? And I think it was goal of the month.
Okay.
I should know this because I've been watching these old seasons over Christmas.
I'm guessing. I can't think.
No, I was at this game, so right. So next question, number 4.
This is a Nigel Khan quiz, Gary.
No, it's not. 1 point.
It really is.
It fucking is,
not.
Gal.
In 2002, 2003, we went into Christmas bottom of the league under Glenn Roeder, eventually almost being rescued in the final few games by Trevor Brooking. Right? How many points did we get relegated with that season?
Oh, yeah.
It's famous. Yeah. It's famous.
Yeah.
Okay. So question 5 is worth 7 points, right? 7 points. And this is a recent game. Our Boxing Day record is absolutely bloody terrible. Have a look back, you won't believe it, right? But when is the last time we won on Boxing Day? What was the score and who scored?
Fucking hell.
I thought this was going to be what colours do West Ham play?
I know.
I'll give you a clue.
What is the name of West Ham's old ground?
Gary, honestly,
I'll give you a clue. It was in the last 5 years and it was abroad.
Well, for somebody that knows the answer to most of this, that's most disappointing that you're given that much information away.
Well, you know, got to help people like Nick, right?
I've got no fucking historical knowledge. Hang on.
Nick, best season ever at Upton Park, Nick.
Come on.
I'll give you a few minutes on this one and I'll read it out again. Our Boxing Day record is terrible, but when's the last time we won on Boxing Day? What was the score and who scored? So I want to know who we played. That's 1 point. What the score was. It's another point. And, well, kind of giving you a clue if you can do maths, basic maths. I want you to name each of the goal scorers.
How many questions on a Gal?
There's only 9, and we're on question 6.
Oh, good. Right.
So question 6. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Worth 2 points. When did we last face Arsenal on Boxing Day? What was the score? And who was the manager?
And that's 2 points. That's 3 questions.
No.
One more time.
No, it's actually, when did we last face Arsenal on Boxing Day? No, it's actually 3 points. But anyway, listen, take whatever you like. In fact, I'll give you the year. I'll give you the year. It was 2013. Who was the manager and what was the score? That's your 2 points. Manager and score, 2013. You should be able to do some simple math.
Come on, next question.
Question number 7, 3 points. One of our many relegation years, we finished bottom of the table with 33 points. From our 7 wins, one of them was on Boxing Day. So this is basically 2010, 2011. Pre-Sam Allardyce, to give you a clue. Right? One of the wins of our 7 wins that season was away on Boxing Day to a local rival. Right? Who did we play and what was the score? I've already given you the manager, so you get a 3 point. The manager was Avram Grant. Two questions to go.
What colour is the grass at the Olympic Stadium?
That's that'd be better.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
What's
didn't realise
colder, water or ice?
This is. I'm going to do a quiz next week, Gary. I'll do one just like this for you. See how many you get. Fucking hell.
Right. This one is guesswork, right? This one's really easy, Nick. In 1915, in World War One, we played Arsenal at home on Christmas Day and 1-8.
What is the point in this? Who's going to get these questions?
2 days later, we won the return fixture, right? So have a guess what the score was. You get 1 point if you're within 1 goal.
56-0.
I was going to say 57. So,
there you go.
Yeah, why not, eh?
No, you just have a guess at a random score. If you're within 1 point, 1 goal, you get a point.
1915.
Right. Yeah, it's during the First World War.
They played. Blimey.
I'm trying to find another time we played.
I mean, I take it that's blokes that weren't fit to go at the front. Yeah. So no wonder it was 8-0. The goalkeeper was blind.
Exactly. Oh, right, this is an interesting one. Number 9, the final question, right? Thank God, Nick.
I missed one out here. Thank God. Right. I thought that was 9. Go on.
So this is it, right? And listen to this one carefully. On the 26th of January, 1963, West Ham suffered a record defeat at home by 8-2. The team included more.
Who scored in the 13th minute?
No, the team included. The team included.
Who was offside in the 2 minutes into injury time by VAR?
The team included Moore, Hurst, and Peters.
Yeah.
2 days later, in a return game, West Ham beat the same opponent 3-1 away. Now, look, the record defeat.
What was the tea lady's name that day?
Listen, the record defeat I knew, right? Which is why I put the question in there, right? 2 days later in a return game, West Ham beat the same opponent 3-1 using exactly the same team that won the FA Cup the following May in 1964, right?
Yeah.
So there was one change. There was only one change from that team, from one team to the other team, right? Who was it? I've given you a clue already.
I like the schnitzel.
There are 3 players, Moore, Hurst, and Peters.
Who missed the 1964 Cup final is the actual question out of that, isn't it?
It's the same.
So if you know,
same question.
Yeah. If you know who missed that.
Yeah. Who
you said this wasn't a Nigel quiz.
Really? I think Nigel would have struggled with this one.
Nigel would have got.
I was going to say, I don't know what questions you'd have asked Nigel. Unbelievable.
Oh,
Johnny Rich says way too easy quizzes. You're lying. There's no way you found that easy.
Honestly, right? I'm not
getting coal for Christmas.
I'm not making this up. I judge this on my own. I think I've got good general knowledge of West Ham.
I'm going to test this. I'm going to test this next week, Gary.
I could have got 12 to 13 out of this 20. I reckon. Right.
Right. Did you know that Danny was coming on? Did you know Danny was coming on this show?
If I get one fucking point, I win.
You should, yes. Danny gets a handicap.
You get double.
Danny gets a handicap.
I wasn't born when half this shit happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken Hammer's saying I've got most. No, you haven't got most of these.
You have, because he must be a similar age to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think people that got good scores need to take pictures.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's being having a good age. I've just got a terrible memory. I've got an awful memory.
I don't think it was that hard. It's not. See, I've done a quiz.
That's because you knew all the answers.
Honestly, I did a quiz once on one of these Zoom calls. I did it with Marie Park, Phil Parks' daughter, right?
Yeah.
And Rob Banks ran it.
Football friends.
It was so hard. It was so hard that me and Marie came bottom. We got 1 out of 20. Right, we were the thickies in the group, and it was so complex. And I think the one that she got embarrassed she didn't get right was one of her dad's teammates.
Right.
Yeah. So you're 40. You're much younger than me, Kent, but you've obviously got a fine knowledge of West
You've
Ham.
got a seriously good knowledge.
He's younger than me. My goodness.
Jesus.
Yeah. So look,
Kent, you come across as an old man. I'm sorry, mate.
That is the quiz.
Gary, can we have the answers, please? Gary, can we have the answers?
Okay, so 1 point. Right, who did we beat on Christmas Day in 1958-59 season? Done the double over him. Dirty Tottenham.
Yes, got it right.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Oh.
Right. There you go.
I said Leyton Orient.
Right.
I actually didn't. I said Arsenal.
Number 2, worth 1 point. Who did 1990? West Ham beat the second place team. They went on to win the league. Who were they?
I googled this one. It was Leeds.
Oldham.
Was it Oldham? Is that why Google got it wrong?
Again, I fucking hated Oldham, so I knew that.
I guessed Preston.
Oh no,
no, that makes sense. Yeah, Oldham plastic pitch. Yeah.
They
won the league.
And then number 3, Boxing Day 2000, rare emphatic win. Again, I was there on this one. Who scored a cracking volley, and who did we beat? We beat Charlton 5-0, and Trevor Sinclair scored the volley.
Oh, I remember it now.
It came down outside the box on his chest, and then he volleyed it into the top. Fucking beautiful, Bobby.
I remember it now.
Yes, it's not so hard, isn't it? Right, 2002, 2003. Right, how many points did we get relegated?
Mandy wants to disco me for googling.
Yeah. How many points did we get relegated on? 42, indeed, Grant. Exactly what it was.
Right? Got one right.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that? I weren't listening, Gal. What'd you say?
42 points.
We got relegated on record points 2002,
42 points, I said, on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many points did I get for that one? 8?
1.
Oh.
So number 5 was a big one, worth 7 points. Our Boxing Day away record is terrible. We last one away to Swansea 4-1 in 2017. It was 2016.
No, it wasn't. It was 16.
Was it 16?
It was 16. Yeah. It was a quiz question in the West Ham Fan TV quiz last week.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh no. So who scored the goals, Grant?
I ain't got a clue. I got Swansea 2016 4-1. That was all they wanted in there. So I'm
Payet.
Now, for some reason, I've got 5 goal scorers. But it was Pyatt,
one will be Swansea.
Reed, Antonio, and Carroll, definitely. But I've got Ayew in there. Why have I got Ayew?
Yeah, because he was at Swansea, wasn't he?
Right. Oh, okay. He scored the other one, did he? Right, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Someone said I've still got an effect on my microphone, have I?
No, you turned it off now, mate.
What is it? Is it off now? Hello?
Sound like a South Park character.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh fuck! What's happened?
Hey, relax, guy.
You're fucking kidding me, right?
How about that? Is that gone?
Yeah, it's gone though.
Oh, fuck's sake.
So number 6, worth 2 points. When did we last face Arsenal? On Boxing Day at home. Sorry, we're away now, but I said it was at home. And what was the score? And who was the manager? I gave you Sam Allardyce. It was 2013, or I gave you 2013, and it was Sam Allardyce. We lost 3-1.
You said before Sam Allardyce.
No, I said the manager was Sam Allardyce.
Oh,
did you? I thought you said before.
You said
I thought he said before.
I've had a few.
Yeah.
You did say before.
I'm not very good.
It's not like that would have made the quiz any less difficult.
I know. Number 7. It had to be a Christmas quiz, so I had to focus on.
No, you didn't. You got to answer the rest of it. Not that it matters, because I got
2013. Sam Allardyce lost 3-1. So if you get any 2 of those, you can have the 2 points, right? So 3 points from question number 7, 2010, 2011, under Avram Grant. We finished bottom with a total of 33 points. From our 7 wins, 1 was Boxing Day, away to Fulham.
Barney said quiz void.
We won 3-1 away to Fulham. And goals from Carlton Cole, I think got 2 that day, and Freddie Picquion.
Okay.
Number 8, 1 point, 1915. We played Arsenal on Christmas Day. Right. Now, if you got within 1 goal of the score, because it ended up 3-2 to Arsenal, 1 goal for each team. So if you chose 2-1, 2-2, you get the picture, right? Within 1 goal of both teams. So it was 3-2 to Arsenal. If you're within 1 goal of both teams, you get 1 point.
Okay.
And finally, worth 2 points. Who did we play? Who was the team we played where we lost 8-2 on Christmas Day and won 3-1 couple of days later? It was Blackburn Rovers. And that is a famous stat from West Ham. Everyone knows that, Nick.
Yeah.
Blackburn Rovers, right?
Yeah.
Who was the player who didn't play in the FA Cup final in 1964 and also didn't play in the second game of these 2 games?
I don't know that. I've got the opponent though, but I don't.
It was Martin Peters. So Moorhurst played in both. He played in, they played in all 3 games, including the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Martin Peters was dropped for the second game in this trilogy, and also didn't play in the FA Cup final.
Okay.
So that is it. So please enter your scores in the chat. Let's first go around and ask our well, Nick, how many did you get? 2 points. No, you didn't.
I've got 2. That's all I got.
Danny?
I had 1 point.
All
42
right,
points on Blackburn.
Right, that gets doubled, Danny. You get 2. Grant?
Well, what's my prize? Because I got 3. So
Jesus,
you got 3.
Well done.
Yeah,
I might have made this too hard.
Danny, you sound miles away, mate.
What's that?
Danny, you sound quite a way away on your mic. Where's he?
How about now?
So Reese got 3 points. So he's winning at the moment.
Can you hear me okay?
With Grant.
Only just.
Mandy got 4. I'll say that 4 points, Mandy.
How about now?
Eastside got 4. Mandy got 4 points. 11 points for Hammerhead.
Can you hear me?
-2 for
right,
Johnny.
we need picture evidence, Hammerhead, please.
7 for Alan Dunn. For fuck's sake, Gary, that quiz nearly made me chat to my mother-in-law, said Barney. Sorry, Barney. Kent says he got 18. 18.
No way.
Yeah,
18.
no, definite. Take a picture, put it in the chat if that's possible.
So Kent's the winner at the moment. Kent's got the winner
Is
at the
that
moment.
maximum points?
No, 20 is the maximum.
I thought.
2, 3. So Mark and Paul Evans.
Nick, can you hear me?
Kent, we need to get you on to challenge Nigel Khan.
Yeah, we do. Have a
I
knowledge
think
of.
I think you're the. I think we've got a clear winner.
Very impressive.
But in second place, Hammerhead. In first place, Ken Hammers.
Hammerhead's bullshitting. I don't trust Hammerhead.
10 points.
I can't see anyone else. Everyone's embarrassed to put their scores in now.
No, that's it. Where did I come in the table anyway?
You came bottom.
Yeah, but anyway, can we?
Should we go back to Arsenal?
Yeah, let's go back to Arsenal. Yeah, that'd be good.
Or do you want to? Are you opening the phone lines tonight?
Yeah, let's keep things positive. Let's move on to Arsenal.
I'll tell you. Should we get Gary on because he said he wanted to call him?
Yeah, go on.
Well, 1 minute. Go on. Just go through a few comments, Gal.
Yeah. Let me put my glasses on.
I can hear you now, Danny. You sound a bit better, mate.
A little bit better. Okay.
That's much better. Yeah, you was really low. I don't know what happened now.
Dave Crafty. Oh, Dave, you lost the plot. I'll make the next one easier. Nick usually does the quizzes. That's the problem, and he's usually guessable because he does like my first quiz standard, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, it just makes it a little bit more accessible for people that ain't fucking historians.
No. I don't consider my West Ham knowledge to be that good, and I could have got about 10.
But you listen, Gary. I guarantee you,
Yeah.
I could do a quiz on West Ham next week. You won't get one right.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could.
So
But I tried to make some of those guessable, like Tottenham in the first one.
No.
You know, you only had to say 2-1 in the last one. You got a good point, you know.
Oh, no. I'm disgusted. Hang on.
Kent's not a historian, but he wants to be. I think we're going to have to bring him on here to be the competitor with Nigel Khan. We had Nigel Khan, Rob Banks, Kent.
Hi, it's Gary Bickley. Please leave your name and number and a short message.
You got Gary's voicemail.
And I'll return your call.
I have. Hang on. It's happened last time. I'll wait for him to phone me because
yeah,
nothing like live TV, eh?
Gary.
Right. Hello, Gary.
Hello.
Hello, Gary.
Hello, mate. How are you? All right?
Yeah, good. Did you do the quiz?
Some of it. I've just come in, so I've heard a bit of it. I've got the Blackburn one right.
Ah, right. Yeah.
I've got a few of them right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah. Good.
Good. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, good, Gary.
No, so you're discussing the Arsenal game, are we?
We are, mate.
Discussing the Arsenal game, yeah.
Oh, can I just say the other lads on tonight? Wish them a Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yeah, no worries, mate. They've just popped off for a minute, but they'll be back in a second. They've gone for a top up, I imagine.
Oh, okay, then fine. Yeah. So obviously with the game on Monday, you're going, aren't you, Nick?
I am. Yeah. So is Gary.
Yeah. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling. Do you know what? Look, logically, we're going to lose. Based on everything, we're going to lose. But it's football. It's football. Anything can happen on any given day. Do I think that we will win? No. Do I think we can win? Yes.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Lee,
if that makes sense.
Lee Judges on our Arsenal TV was talking to Nicky and also Anna's chat. He was talking and he was saying yesterday about it. He said, we've got some really good players. He said, obviously if Arsenal are not on it properly, he said, we quite easily lose this game. He said he was a little bit nervous about it. So
is he one of the ones that says shut? Is he one of the ones that says shut up, fam?
No.
No.
Is he not?
No.
I'll tell you, blood.
Shut up, fam. What do you say? Is he not like that? Is he not like that?
No, Nick, don't get cancelled, mate. Don't get cancelled. No, he's the complete opposite.
No, he's a nice bloke, actually. I watched those interviews today. Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out our team, because I keep hearing different things. One people say Creswell and Antonio are injured, and they've been seen on the training grounds. I reckon Antonio will play myself. I don't know about Aguirre. There's so many ifs and buts with this team. We don't know what. I just hope he goes with a back four, though. I don't think the three at the back. We don't ever seem to do well playing that way.
No.
And to be honest, I wouldn't call it a free hit, but I think the performance is almost not as important as the result, but it's very important. I think that if we go out just defend and end up losing 1 or 2-0 like we did last year, I think people are going to be really pissed off. I just want to see us have a right. Nick said last week, have a right.
Just
go
have a go.
And like I said last week, the key to this game is down their flanks, Saka and Martinelli. They haven't got Jesus playing. If we can stop them down their flanks, which might mean playing 4-4-1-1 or 4-3-3, but we need to get.
But
need help.
But all that means is, Gary, that goes counter to what you're saying, because if you play with a 4-4 and you're saying stop the wingers, what you're saying is the fullbacks need help, which they will in Cresswell and Soufal, which means that Bowen and Benny are going to be tasked with being second fullbacks, which is going to remove our attacking threat.
No, there's another way around it. He could play. I would have Johnson at left back against. I think Johnson's a better defender than Cresswell, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, but if Cresswell's fit, Cresswell plays.
Yeah, I'm just saying on it. We're trying to say. I think what we should do is, if we're playing look, he's going to probably play Soucek, so we would like to see. I'd like to see Paqueta and Rice play together. But if he's playing Soucek and Rice in the middle, which he's probably going to do, then you could put Fornals on the left, which releases Benny. So Fornals to double up on the left hand side. On the right hand side, you play Bowen, who could double up a little bit. Then you play Benny in a free role behind the striker. That's the way round it, I think. But we've got to be realistic here. Go on.
Did we, when we played away at Arsenal last year, didn't we play Masuaku in a back five?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah,
I think
we did.
I think they focused on him, didn't they?
Do you not think it's going to be completely bizarre if he goes with a back five after the warm-up games have all been with 4 at the back?
No, I think it'll be a 4. He can't go with a 5.
It all depends who's available, I suppose, end of the day, doesn't it? You know, he's going to be that could be a lot to do with it, what team he's got. But I like to see Johnson left back, definitely. And like I say, I think he's a decent defender. He's got a bit of pace about him. And I would like to see. I don't know about the defence though, the middle of the defence, because you've obviously got Dawson, you've got Kehrer. I don't know if Aguilar's going to be fit. Is he? I would doubt it. But basically, I think what we said last week. I think we've got to really have a go at them as much as we possibly can. I mean, I'd much rather us go there and have a right go at them, and whatever the score is, well, fair enough. I'm not saying go gun ho, because obviously, you know, we can keep it tight. We can keep it tight for an hour or so. And then they might start getting a bit jittery. And after all, we don't know how teams are going to react. You know, you've had like almost 6 weeks off. It could be the perfect time to play Arsenal.
But it's very cliche. It's very cliche to say it, but it's true. When you're playing against a team and you're fearful of their pace up front and them sort of, and you're weak in defence, sometimes the best form of defence is to attack. Because you're keeping them further away. You're stretching them back. You're pushing them back. If you retreat, you're inviting them on.
And that's probably what Arsenal are expecting. So
yes,
if you bring
I just think we've got
everything, including the kitchen sink at them, they
absolutely
have to adapt to us versus the other way around.
That would be nice, just for once. I would like to see what I would love to see is, for once, David Moyes do something that forces the opposition manager to change tact.
Yes, definitely.
That would be nice.
Take it by surprise almost.
Yes, that would be nice.
What I like to see us do is, like I said to you, we've got to sort down the flank. We've got to ball the flanks up. We've got to push him inside and then flood the midfield, because you've got Paqueta in here, you've got Rice, you've got Souček.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Ben Rama can drop off a little bit. Just flood the midfield and just choke the life out of them. You know, and get them frustrated, because, you know, we can hit them on the counter-attack. We've got pace with Bowen, we've got Antonio if he plays. Set pieces, we can still, you know, do pose a threat, even though we're not being as good. But we've got to, just win that midfield battle, stop Odegaard getting on the ball. I'd like to see Paqueta, say, playing with Rice and Souček, perhaps, you know, and then and just get the 2 wide players in. But it's difficult, like you say, Nick. You're trying to do 2 things. You want to attack them, but also you've got to be. You can't go gun ho, you know.
Yeah.
We don't want to get an hiding, do we?
No,
we don't want.
Well, to be quite honest, I know you say we don't want to get a hiding. For me, I personally, because if you look at the Leeds mentality, right? They almost accept. They did under Bielsa. They accepted that some games they're going to win, some games they're going to lose. They never change their ethos and their style of play. I don't think there is any embarrassment in getting beat by a team like Arsenal, providing you've gone out and you've had a go. I do believe that, because if you go out, because in my opinion, if you're effectively scared of Arsenal and you go there to shut up shop and throttle them and it fails, all you've done is you've gone there for a draw and it ain't worked. Then the fans have got nothing out of that. No one's got anything out of that. And this is a thing where. With the team as well, if Moyes wants that team on side, because as well as the fans are getting fucked off with the style of play, not all fans, you know, the same as all players won't be, but there will be some players that will hate the way that we approach games. There will be some players in that setup that will go, fuck's sake, give me a break. Like when he puts on, he gets on the tactics board at the start and he explains what we're going to be doing. There are going to be some players in that setup that are going to go, can't we just have a go? Can't you know?
I mean, the thing is, we haven't got to have majority of possession. I mean, after all, they are beatable. I mean, you know, you look at the Man United game and Arsenal had a lot of possession at Old Trafford, but United beat them 3-1. They hit them on the break, even though they were playing at home. You can beat it. They're not unbeatable, Arsenal, and you know, they've had some good performances. They've had 1 or 2 this year. Away at Leeds, they were very lucky.
Yeah,
they were very lucky at Fulham. So you can get something from the game, and I just think we've got to go. It all depends on the players' attitude. I mean, you know, we say about as Moyes lost the dressing room or hasn't. We'll find out now. We had a 6-week break. There's no excuses. You know, the team are either going to be up for it or they're not.
No.
But I just want to see us get Paqueta in the side. I want to see Ben Rama in the side. Like I say, we've just got down the flanks. We've got to, because they haven't got Jesus. and they're going to miss him, and because he drops off a little bit and does things. So if we can stop Martinelli and Saka, and just crowd them out down the flank,
you nullify their threat. You nullify their threat.
Yeah, that's something. And then that game goes on. If we're still in it, 0-0, whatever, then you can start maybe taking a few more risks.
Yeah,
but,
it's not easy to do because I think what Arsenal are likely to do with Saka and Martinelli is you can't really force them inside if they just stand out there and they occupy the wide areas. And I think that is kind of what they will probably do if we play the likes of Cresswell and Soufal. The instruction will be get your asses out there, get out wide.
They're going to attack those points.
And then Cresswell's got to occupy them, so that stretches play. So you can't really force them inside.
What I'm saying though, if you can stop, if they're not getting down past our fullbacks and we're doubling up on them, they've got to find out alternative ways. It's not going to be easy. Listen, there's no easy way around it. They're at the top of the league.
You are right. Their main threat is wide.
Yeah, you watch it all day long. It is.
Yeah, their main threat is wide.
Yeah, I think we'd double up on them.
But you don't know. Not being that. It's been 6 weeks. It's been a break, and if it goes 0-0 longer and longer and longer, their fans are going to start getting a bit jittery. They're going to get a bit edgy, And to be honest, we're due a win against Arsenal. And our record against them and Brighton, they're our two bogey sides, but we are due something against Arsenal.
Do you know what I'm expecting in the? And no. I'm not joking, by the way. I'm expecting a 4-3-3, and if I don't see this, I'll be very, very happy with Rice, Souček, and Downs in the middle.
What about Paqueta?
No, no. What I'm expecting Moyes to do is what I'm trying to say, Gary. I'm expecting him to put a defensive shield in front of that back line.
Yeah,
I mean the thing is,
that's what I'm expecting.
Spending £50 million on a player on a game like this, unless he starts him on the bench and brings him on perhaps in the second half. But it's not going to be easy.
It's not what I want to see. It's not what I want to see at all. But it's
what Moyes has shown us that we can probably expect.
Yeah.
So it's not like you've come with a prediction out of thin air.
No, that's right.
I'm really looking forward to the game, to be honest with you, because
I'm looking forward to
games over Christmas.
I'm looking forward to it.
I love the games over Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, of course we've got to bear in mind also we've got a game a few days later with Brentford at home.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if we get beat 3 or 4-0 over there, it's not going to take very much at all in the Brentford game.
Nah, that's the thing.
To really turn, and then we lose another game.
It puts
That's what I worry the most about.
If we get stuffed away to Arsenal, it puts all the pressure on the Brentford game because I think if he loses both of those, I think he's dead.
Personally, because if you look, because like I said to you before, if people have said it, if the 3 games thing is true, some people say it is, some people say it isn't. If it's true, I think it matters in which order he gets points. If he gets no points against Brentford, I don't think he gets Leeds.
Nick, the thing is, right, whether it's true or not, the fact is, if we lose the next 2 games, we are definitely going to be in the bottom 3.
Oh yeah.
And then the ball, they're going to start getting a bit edgy then.
Well, then beyond that, right? Do you know what the next games, the run of games is, right? So we've got Arsenal, then we've got Brentford, then we've got Leeds away. If you heaven forbid, it'd be very difficult to do it, but if you lost those 3. Following that,
Everton and Wolves.
You've got Everton and Wolves, and then beyond that, you've got Newcastle,
Brentford
Spurs.
Don't forget, we've got Brentford away in the cup.
In the cup, yeah,
which is not going to be easy. Yeah.
No, so
we come out of them 3 games with a couple of points. Yeah, then we got to go to Brentford. That's going to be.
Yeah, and then like I say, but those 3 there, I think the Leeds, Wolves, and Everton ones, they're so critical because they are 6-pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely are. I mean, I've not heard one West Ham fan on YouTube yet or on social media predicting a West Ham win. Everyone seems very, very, very. Don't expect anything.
We did.
This game,
John predicted a 1-0 win, and I said a 1-1 draw. I said a 1-1 draw.
I think.
Do I believe it? Probably not, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
No.
Yeah, I'm with John on that. I don't predict West Ham to lose. I very rarely predict.
But then it's not a prediction, is it, Gary?
No, it's not a prediction. But it's
predicting with his heart.
It's based on the theory that it's football. It's still a sport, right?
Yeah.
It's still a sport. We've got good players, and if those players turn up and Moyes gives them the right instructions, Moyes has still got a chance to turn this around. He's still here. He's still got a chance to turn this around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the ball hasn't been kicked.
I hope he doesn't waste it. I hope he doesn't waste this chance, right?
Ryan Vincent is right, though. This is true. Don't worry. If we're in the bottom 3, we're still going to be in a European battle.
It's true. We're still going for Europe. But no, listen, while he's still here, he's still fighting for his job. And look, he'll be gone in the summer regardless. You know, there's no way he'll be around after the summer, right? So
wherever he is going in the summer, it doesn't matter. As long as we're in the Premier League.
So I'll take it both ways. I'll take it both ways. We had this conversation the other night about would you take, you know, top 10 and a conference win? Would you take 17th and a conference win? All day long. Even if Moyes is at the helm, all day long. But as soon as it looks like we're getting relegated, and at the moment it feels like we're getting relegated, right? That is what's making me Moyes out, right? And if we go to Arsenal, get stuffed, and if we play at home to Brentford and we don't put up a good show and we lose, then for me that is good night. That is good night, Vienna.
See, for me, I see that's where we differ, Gary. That's where we differ. I'm Moyes out because of the style of play. And I have been for some time. It's been killing me for a while. I've never, even when it's going well, but the points are coming in, you can swallow it because obviously we're fighting on fronts that we haven't fought on before. It was nice.
But we're agreeing though, aren't we? We're agreeing though. You're just agreeing with the same thing. If while it's going well, you're saying
you're Moyes out because of the points.
No, I turned Moyes out when I realised that he'd kind of lost it, wasn't going anywhere, didn't have any ideas, and I think we're getting relegated. Right, that's when I went
Gary,
Moyes
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Gary, can I ask you a question? I know Nick has. We was able to chat the other day.
Cheers, Ken. Very kind, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
Would you rather have Bilic back in there and Moyes?
I would.
Would you, Gary?
No, I wouldn't. No.
You wouldn't.
I thought Bilic was a disaster. I thought Bilic was a disaster.
Really?
But what Bilic could do if you put him on a half a season deal, he'd probably do a good job. But he ain't.
You think he could get more out of this squad than Moyes has?
Yeah,
he's a man manager. I think he could come in and lift people.
No, rubbish. Yeah. Bilic's record is all about one man. Come on.
No, you're right. You're right.
Do you know? Can I say this to you, Grant? David Moyes' record is all about one man. Declan Rice.
It is.
No, Declan. Without Declan Rice, we don't finish anywhere near where we have.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing?
No,
Oh, well, let's sell him then. He's obviously not important. Right, go on then, Gary.
With regards to Bilic, whether you like him or not, the style of play was very good. You look at Bilic's record against the top 6 sides away from home; it was incredible.
Yeah.
We beat Liverpool 3-0 away. We beat Arsenal away. We beat Man City away.
Yeah.
We drew away at Chelsea. We drew at Leicester. We beat all the top teams.
Do you know where I think it went?
In Europe, we had the best player in Europe that season. Probably one of the best players in the world.
We did.
And you know what that does for a team like West Ham? It turned Chianti into a good player. You know, everybody around him in that team was a superb player.
But would that Pie at that season, Gary, have been that Pie at that season if David Moyes was in charge? See, Slaven Bilic facilitated that.
He did. He gave him a free role and told him to enjoy himself. Yeah.
Imagine putting Bilic in. Imagine putting Payet in this team now. God, imagine a midfield of Pekesa, Payet, Rice. That'd be a that makes the old juices flow, doesn't it?
It'd be impressive. But no, look, I for me now, I'm glad football's back. I am excited. I think the worst thing that could happen, and I mean this now, is if Moyes scrapes a point in the next 3 games, but the performances are still no better. We're crap, and what that does is that buys him 3 more games. If he picks up and we change and we start winning, that's fine. But what could kill us and what could see us get relegated is just a little sustainable game every now and then. Just every now and then. So lose 2, win 1. Lose 2, get a draw.
I'll tell you what else, Nick. The other problem we got is you look at the team Southampton. Aston Villa, Wolves, they've all got new managers. Chances are, the old new manager bounce, the chances are these teams will start picking up points. And then I think you've got the Everton and West Ham who are stuck, will then start to really panic if the results go against both them teams. Because I think Wolves, I think Southampton, I think Villa, you're going to see an upturn. They're going to start picking up more points.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
I think it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And this is we're coming up to the part of the season around about the halfway mark is kind of where the league starts to take shape. Yeah, fair enough. Every now and then you'll get a Newcastle with what happened last year, where Eddie Howe came in. And this is the thing where that's the Newcastle thing blows David Moyes' bedding in thing out of the water, because they've had 9 to 10 new players come in that kind of years period since it was a year since Eddie Howe came in, and they've accumulated twice the points and they've spent less money.
Yeah. Nick, what do you reckon? The next 5 games, you've got Brentford, Arsenal, Leeds, you've got Everton and Wolves. It's a possible 15 points here. What would be the minimum you would expect, and what do you think we'll get at them? What do you all think at them next 5? 15 points up for grabs.
I've got my expectations are low. I've got no expectations now. I really don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm kind of. I think if we get a result against Arsenal, that could kind of spur us on, and we could go on a little run. It could give us a bit of. It could give us a bit of confidence. I worry. If we lose the first 2, because it's all about momentum, it's going to be incredibly difficult for David Moyes to turn that round.
Yeah. What does Gary think? Is he expecting much in the next 5?
No. I mean, I'm expecting 0 for the next 3, and I think
really
pressure. Yeah, that's just me, right? I think we're going to lose at Arsenal.
It's a logical assumption.
Listen, I think we're going to lose at Arsenal. We're going to lose convincingly, but I'll still tip West Ham to get a point at Arsenal, because that's what I hope happens. If we lose at Arsenal, we get thumped by Arsenal, which I expect. All the pressure is on Brentford, all of it, right? That is a make or break game for him then. And
yeah, what do you think will happen if we lose to Arsenal? Do you think you'll be there, no doubt? The Brentford home game. Do you think the fans are going to be like, it's going to be on a fine edge then? The slight little thing they're turning. Do you think that'll
I think. Yeah. I think, Grant, you can probably agree with this, can't you? I think that if we start off slow, say we lose, get stuffed by Arsenal, we go into Brentford with our hearts and our mouths hoping for something good, and we have a slow start against Brentford and go 1-0 down. I mean, it's going to be toxic in that stadium.
We will start slow against them as well, because they're a good counter-attacking team. He will start slow against them. Go on, Grant. Let Grant answer that one. What do you think, mate?
Friday night. It's not a good game to be playing Brentford, is it? If we've lost to Arsenal, it's going to be, everyone's going to be moaning because it's Friday night anyway. And that atmosphere turns quick as anything anyway. So yeah.
Well, it's not a great atmosphere over there at the moment, is it? Let's face it. I mean,
as
anything.
Again, I think look, if we go to Arsenal and we get
Mikey Brennan,
Santa. Welcome, Mike.
Hello, Mike. How are you, mate? Ah,
BT.
There he is. I just want to pinch your cheeks.
Hey.
Baby too.
Where's John tonight, Gal?
He's in the cab. He's in the cab tonight.
Is he? I see your show early. I see you had him on here earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're listening, John, Merry Christmas to you, mate. Anyway, and like I say, lads, we've just got to hope for the best, really, haven't we? Monday now, we don't want to do. We don't concede the first 15, 20 minutes, do we?
No, we definitely don't, mate. We definitely don't. But anyway, Gary, what we'll do, mate, we'll wrap this one up. We're gonna have a little chat with Grandad Brennan. So thank you very much for calling in.
Right.
And
have a good Christmas, everyone.
And Merry Christmas, Gary. Ta-da, mate.
Merry Christmas, mate.
Ta-da, mate.
Take care.
Take care.
Cheers, mate.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
That's it. Got feedback. That's it. I'm better now.
There we go.
Grandad Brennan is in there.
How are you, Mike? You all right?
All right, lads. Yes.
You finally got your boy, didn't you?
Yes. Here he is.
Second generation boy, but you finally got your boy.
Generation, but he's
Oh.
Come on, Finty. Come on.
That's Grant. Grant, turn your camera off.
That's
the one who likes David Moyes. Turn him off.
Give him to me and I'll sort it. Hang on.
Yeah.
Mum.
Right. That's how I felt internally whenever I heard Gary's song at the start of the show. It was so dark.
You
I
don't
know.
hear Man
I know.
United sound like your dad.
That was my singing
Yes.
talent. That was, Danny.
Yes.
Can you hear
Between
this
your
in the
singing and the
Ben
subject
Rama
matter,
and Declan Rice
it's awful.
don't be like your dad.
Yeah, well, I hate Man United.
The abominable snowman.
You do. That is incredibly. That looks very warm. Is that a onesie by any chance, or was that a
No,
jumper?
it's not. No.
There we go. Oh, very nice. Ooh, there he is.
I'm glad you still got your trousers on, Mike. I was a bit worried then.
His dad did shoving off.
Why it's very hot.
Yeah, should have seen.
17, that is. All the way from Walthamstow, that was.
Very nice, mate. So, Grandad Brennan, what are your thoughts on West Ham at the moment? How do you think? What are you expecting from the Arsenal game on Monday?
Absolutely nothing.
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 No.
Nothing whatsoever.
No.
How are we going to beat them? Let's be honest. Even with Jesus out.
Did you see the comment? He's been a bit grisly. Get used to it, some West Ham supporter.
Yeah. That's what I keep telling my lad.
Yeah.
This is a moment. Yeah.
West Ham and Callum and his dad.
Right, Mia, come in, Mia. Look.
Hello.
Mia's a new West Ham.
Mia.
Not new.
She is because of Finn.
Yeah.
He's a new West Ham
He will
fan.
not be a Man United supporter.
No, that's right. Don't let him be a West Ham.
definitely
United
not.
supporter.
Every time his dad mentions Man United, I smack him.
So take him along to his first game, Mike, when he's a little bit older. Take him along to his first game.
When
And
his
then
dad says, "Oh, I'll take him to Old Trafford," no way, you're going to Manchester alone with
No,
him.
don't allow that. Don't allow that.
And when you take him to his first game and we lose, you tell him, well, it don't get any better than this, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
or just tell them like it's okay. It hurts more the older you get.
Yeah.
People about her, but it hurts more.
Yeah.
I think it hurts more at your age, Danny. It stops hurting when you get to my age.
No!
It don't really hurt anymore.
Gary.
No, Mike.
You're just
Mike,
numb
only
at this
slight-
point.
You're slightly younger than me.
Okay,
No.
to the point that we're kind of on right now, was anybody else thinking so the World Cup is over? It was brilliant, one of the best we've ever seen, might have been the best final at least that I've ever seen. Was anybody else thinking, how the fuck am I supposed to watch the West Ham that I was watching before the international break and be excited about that?
Yeah. No, I know.
I didn't miss club football.
I didn't really get into the World Cup, Danny, personally.
I'll tell you what. I listened to this West Ham fan TV interview between Nicky Hawkins and an Arsenal fan today, and the Arsenal fan was, I forget his name, but he was good value, right? He said he was watching the World Cup and he just couldn't fucking do it, and he said if there's any way, he wanted England to win. But if there was any way that England should be knocked out in his eyes, it should be through Harry Kane missing a penalty.
It's a beautiful way of putting it.
Yeah.
He said when you're in the pub watching it, it's horrible.
No, what he said was he said in the last World Cup, he said Spurs were on Twitter going England Hotspur, and he said I just couldn't stomach it. I couldn't be supporting them. He said my first priority is Arsenal, and England are a poor second. You feel like that, Nick? I feel like that with West Ham as well, right?
We won the World Cup, don't we?
Yeah. No, we do. And back then that was before my time, it was before our time, right? But so you got to be proud of that because we did win the World Cup. But you look at it now. Would you put club ahead of country?
Yeah, all day long.
Personally, I would all day long.
Yeah.
You as well.
Definitely.
What about you, Danny?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
So
not
the equivalent to that would be like, I understand that you guys are a lot more tribal over there.
Yeah.
If you gave me, so not to take away from how much I love this club, but the equivalent for me would be maybe the Miami Dolphins. Like, would I rather see the Miami Dolphins win a championship or see Colombia win a World Cup or a major trophy?
Yeah.
I would take my country every single time.
I would.
Or the U.S. Either or.
Really?
Yes.
I thought you had said the Dolphins, to be fair.
No, because I'm realistic. I'm not.
I was going to say Dolphins are never winning, are they, Danny? You know that, mate. So.
I'm wary of making that deal with the devil.
The thing is, it's always on a knife edge with British football because it is very much most people are club before club before country,
yes.
and we all get into it. If we win, then every single one of those players will adopt them. But the second it don't go right, the second it don't go right,
in that regard, that if you ask most other people from around the world if they rather see their club win something or their country win something, they're going to go country first. Yeah. I guess unless they support a big club that wins all the time anyway.
I'd like to know. It's different this time, though, wasn't it? Because normally your season's over, you know what you've done, good, bad, indifferent. You then you go to the Euros, you go to the World Cup, you get into it because it's all you've got. But obviously, we've had this thing where we've hit pause. It's not going well. There's clear upset in the fan base. Mm-hmm. There's all the stuff that we've been talking about for weeks.
Yeah.
And then, that this is just a momentary pause before we get back into it, and then it all goes, another half season.
We still have everything to play for, though. I mean, if you want to try and be
positive, I completely agree. Yeah.
It's put it on the back burner for 6 weeks. It's a novel thing. It was a new World Cup.
Yeah, but that French referee, referee for France was not very good, was he?
No, he wasn't terrible.
Even I watched it. I mean,
good point, Reese.
I'll tell you what he was.
I understand football now. I support West Ham. I'm getting involved.
She's getting involved.
Mike, cover your grandson's ears a minute.
Language. The referee for France was dog shit.
The referee was a wanker, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was an absolute.
Yeah.
What did they say, Finn?
Yeah. Oh, he like that. He like that.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's all right.
But yeah, I think yeah, it was a shame. It was a shame. I would love to see. I would love to see England win something. It would be lovely.
Hypothetically,
what would you listen? What would you rather, Gary? What would you rather? Listen, I'm going to give you this option now, right? What would you rather? West Ham to lift the Europa Conference League or England to win the World Cup?
England World Cup.
England World Cup. So there you go. See.
Yeah, but that's a different level. That's a different level. I'll go England World Cup every day. Yeah.
I guess in that instance, I'll take West Ham lifting a trophy.
No, you give me FA Cup or World Cup, I go FA Cup. Right? You give me Conference League. I look at Conference League as a little bit lower. I'd love to win it, but it ain't on the same par as a World Cup. And this World Cup team, this England team, it was very much split between the players. I was actually adding the players up to see how many players in each team, and no player had more. No club had more than I think 2 players in the starting 11, and so that would preserve that would preserve our record of the 3. For one club winning the World Cup, right? That's all I was interested in. And Mbappe tried to nick a record, but he ended up on the losing side. Sorry, mate.
Oh, don't
and no perfect hat trick. How did I not even know that?
Yeah, exactly. Hurst was a perfect hat trick. Left foot, right foot header. Yeah.
I never knew that until
and Mbappe, frankly, compared to that, he's not fit to, well, it's a bit extreme, isn't it? Not fit to tie his laces. 2 penalties and a decent right foot finish. I mean,
Well, if Harry Kane could take 2 penalties.
That's it. Do you know most World Cup final goals by a team, right? You've got that looks like Inter. Is that Inter Milan? Fuck knows. They've got 8. You got Juventus on 7.
That's finals.
Yeah, finals, cup final goals. I don't know who's the middle one now. I don't know who that is. So you got Bayern Munich on 4, and then you got West Ham. We're 5th.
Reece has said,
fifth out of all of the clubs in the world.
Reece has said, I'm going to fucking orbit if we win the World Cup. Reece. I'll give you West Ham winning the Champions League versus England winning the World Cup. What would you take? Oh, Premier League. One of the big ones, right?
Premier League, West Ham.
No, but Premier League or Champions League, right? What would either of those? You win either of those versus England winning the World Cup.
I think I would take the Conference League because I'm way more. Yeah,
it'd be nice to just see West Ham lift a trophy, wouldn't it?
Would.
What about an Audi
only
Cup?
Because my day to day, my day to day is invested in West Ham and not England. I'm not on England Twitter. I'm not on England.
It's true.
Shows kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not. And again, that's because it's season after season and not every
And also with England, with me, for instance, where with England, whenever Harry Kane scores a goal, the WhatsApp starts going off. Oh, look, Tottenham. You're getting all that shit all the time, so you can't really get away from the tribal stuff. You almost kind of, I'll get some sort of sick kick out of it when one of those players does do something wrong.
As well. You live in Tottenham land as well, right? This
like
Arsenal fan, his name was
celebrating. I mean, I felt very awkward celebrating a Harry Kane goal.
Well, his name is Lee Judges, that Arsenal fan, right? And I completely agree with him. Because I feel very, very awkward, like you just said, Danny. Very awkward in celebrating along with Harry Kane while he's celebrating and doing all that, that sort of stuff.
And I was with England in that World Cup. I celebrated that first penalty like, God, fucking right, he buried it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in the back of my head, and I wanted to be wrong. Like, this is going to go a bit Spursy, isn't it?
Yeah.
As he was running up, I was going Spursy.
We've seen this over and over.
I mean, he fucking skied it, didn't he? He skied it, didn't he?
It still ain't landed, Gary. That's still rising, that penalty.
That's absolutely.
It might come over my house in a minute.
Yeah.
On its way to you, mate.
I know.
Yeah, it'll land by the time the next World Cup happens here.
It'll be a snowball. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, shall we, because we ain't done it for a little while, who fancies doing a Premier League predictor?
Go on, do it.
Should we do it for the next 3 games? Let's do it for the next 3 games.
Nick, to be fair, mate, a 3-week Premier League predictor can't be any harder than doing Gary's quiz, can it? So
no, it can't.
It's an easy quiz. What are you talking about? Easiest quiz ever.
Right, and listen, I'm not rigging this. So we're going to go clockwork. We've got clockwise. We're going to start with Gary. We'll work our way around, whoever it falls on. So if Grant does get every West Ham game, don't blame me, because he'll go for wins, right? And so will Gary. Gary, you'll go wins as well.
Wins.
I know I've already guaranteed Desmond's in there.
Desmond's. You love a Desmond.
We are. Look at the poor young man. We bought the life out of him. He's fallen asleep listening to
all You didn't bore him. He loves West Ham.
That's what he does with his granddad.
At the start of every Man United game. He loves West Ham.
Look.
Right, there we go. Let's get rid of that. A minute.
Yeah.
All that talk of Harry Kane, he's filled his nappy up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's done a Harry Kane. Look at him.
I have actually a vendetta against Man United. I hate them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right, so let's get this one up.
His dad's trying to fill it with Man United stuff, and I'm just like, fuck off.
Right, here we go.
You need to. Yeah, exactly. Definitely
I'm
fuck
sorry,
off.
but that.
Yeah.
Right, so anyway, Gary.
I need my glasses.
Yeah,
right, Brentford versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Brentford 1, Tottenham 2.
Right.
So no, sorry, I forgot the rules. Brentford 4, Tottenham 0.
Yeah, what the fuck are you playing at?
Yeah.
Did you just give Spurs a win?
Yeah.
I forgot the rules on that one. Right.
Sorry, head over for a minute. Go on.
Right, so it's 4-0. Yeah?
4-0 to Brentford, yeah.
Okay. Right, we're going to go with me. Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Ooh.
It's the worst game of the weekend, isn't it?
I'm going to go 2-1 to Palace. Grant. Everton versus Wolves.
Worst game of the weekend? What are you on about? Here we go with the worst game of the weekend.
Right, this one here, we need a draw, don't we?
Well, Everton 0. Everton 0 something, isn't it?
Is it us, Everton?
0-0.
And the other before the World Cup started.
Right, Mike's
that will be that will cure insomnia. That game.
Southampton versus Brighton.
Danny. Don't you dare say Southampton win.
South Coast.
I'm going to say probably Brighton win that.
Yeah, good boy.
What do you reckon?
Wait, 2 seconds.
We'll go 1-0.
We're 16.
Yeah.
1.
Gosh.
Right, and then we go Mike, Grandad Brennan, Leicester versus Newcastle.
I'm going to go 1-3 Newcastle.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Right, back up to Gary, Aston Villa. Aston Villa versus Liverpool.
0-2.
See, I fancy Villa to win that.
Yeah, so I would say that.
After West Ham United, I'm really sorry.
Are they going to have their keeper back? Is Martinez going to be back for that fixture? I mean, I know that he's obviously going to be more fit than an outfield player after winning a World Cup, but is he Is he
He's going to be sober, is he?
Look,
I don't think so.
Hey, look, now listen, everyone. Even though I said 1-1, I'm going to go for the probable result, which is a defeat. And I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say Arsenal 1, West Ham 0.
Nah.
That is the probable result.
More like 4-0.
Nick, boo!
I know.
3-1. That's what I would guess.
Chelsea. So Grant, Chelsea versus Bournemouth.
3-0.
3-0.
Ooh.
Danny, Man U versus Nottingham Forest.
Look, what I would like to happen is to see Forest batter United, and
that'd push them above us.
I think United do us a favor here, especially if we do lose that Arsenal fixture, and keep us out of that bottom three, beating Nottingham 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. Okay. Right, Grandad, Leeds versus City.
Ooh. Leeds 2, Man City 1.
Oh
no!
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Possibly. Well, look, the first game's back. You're always going to get. You're always going to get an upset.
Leeds under Marsh are a different proposition.
Right, we're still out the. Listen, guys, we're still outside the bottom three. All right, we'll do one more week. We won't do 3. Let's just do the next week.
Okay.
Mike, do you not think that Leeds will, like their press, they'll just overcommit and get smashed?
No.
In behind.
Man City have been done a couple of times this season by teams.
Arteta's comments on Moyes on the day.
Right, Gary, you've got West Ham versus Brentford. What's that?
What do you guys think about Arteta's comment on Moyes from Daily Mirror? Arteta basically said that Moyes played him in a position he's never played before, and he has to adapt or die.
I read that. I forgot to mention it. I forgot to mention this. Yeah, that's right. That is right.
I won't say what I think.
What?
John can't believe the language on it. Nor can I, John. It's fucking terrible.
It is.
Absolutely
swearing, everyone.
I don't even swear, John. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Gary. West Ham versus Brentford. Probably the worst person to give it to on this one.
West Ham, Brentford.
You'll
West
go for a
Ham
win.
3, Brentford 1. We go 1-0 down.
Wow. I hope so.
Is anyone going to pick us to have a clean sheet at any point in the rest of this?
I don't think so.
George Cohen passed away today. I didn't know that. George Cohen.
Yeah.
16.
Very sad.
Only Jeff and Bobby left. Yeah, sad. Very sad. Rest in peace, George.
Right, let's whiz through these quickly. Right, so it's me. So I'm going to go Leicester. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a Leicester win.
No.
Against I am.
Based
I think
on...
they're picking up.
Liverpool. I hope so.
And Brendan against his old team. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. I can get that. I get
So
that.
Grant, Wolves versus Man United. We're going to have to anticipate at some point that Wolves probably are going to start picking up. They've got a new manager.
Based on what, mate? They got no striker. Their manager... I don't know. Again, it's your score, mate. Go on, whatever you want.
Yeah.
No, in a game, I don't. This is a game I don't think it's 2. I think probably 0-2. I would say their manager's got a big reputation because he got the Real Madrid job about 5 seasons ago and then got booted within days. So he doesn't.
Have you ever thought about putting a bet on this every week, and then if we win it?
No, because we've never been anywhere near it, Mike. Ever, we've never been anywhere near it. We always predict West Ham to win and Tottenham to lose for a start.
I was just going to say that's if we were going to do that. If we were all chipping a quid in, then we'd have to discount the West Ham and the Spurs.
I think we predicted a 9-2 loss for Spurs once.
Yeah,
was that me?
That's probably
right. So, Danny, we've got Bournemouth versus Palace.
Well, I want to give it to Palace 1-0. Really, that could be a 0-0 draw if we're being honest.
1-0 to Palace.
Yeah, Palace look a little bit better than Bournemouth. Bournemouth doesn't really.
I think he's a decent manager, Vieira. I think he's. I quite like him.
Vieira's a great manager.
Yeah, he's good.
I would take him at West Ham without even.
I would actually. I would. Yeah.
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
Right.
I've always admired him.
Yeah, no, he's good. Right, Mike.
5-0.
What's a Fulham?
No,
yes,
don't be
definitely.
You hate Southampton. Yeah, that's all right. You can have it. You can have 5-0. 5-0. Right, Man City versus Everton, Gary. This is where they're going to get. Now they've just been beat by Leeds. They're wounded. What are they going to do to Everton?
This is where Frank Lampard gets sacked. Man City 6.
Yeah.
Everton 0.
Was it 6-0?
6-0.
Lovely. With that from Southampton, what a day.
Right, so Newcastle versus Leeds. Oh, that's going to be a fucking good game, that one. I'm going to go for 4-3, a typical 4-3 to Newcastle, but a good game on that one. Two good teams. Right, Grant, Brighton versus Arsenal.
Well, Arsenal obviously reeling from their defeat at home to West Ham, starting the greatest second half to a season known to man. It'll be 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1. Yeah. Okay. Danny,
1-2.
You know the rules.
Other way around. Sorry, other way around. 2 Arsenal.
I expect this one to be a complete shootout. I think Villa will win 9-6 over Spurs.
That's good. I'll take that. I'll take
Well,
that's good.
Fine
I
prediction.
think Brighton will beat Arsenal.
Brighton will beat Arsenal.
Yeah, I think.
I think that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
I think they will. Their new manager is going really under the radar, and he is pulling them out some results. And
I love what they've done, Brighton. I love the fact that they've lost one of the best managers in the league, the way he was performing, and it's just like that. It's like they already had someone lined up.
Yeah,
they did. You know, they it just didn't matter. They've just carried on. They sold I mean, their best player last year was that Cucurella. They've sold him. What fucking difference does it make? They've just moved on.
They're going to sell McAllister as well.
Yeah, I know.
And then he's like gone to the same club that his new manager's turned up at and gone, shit, bollocks.
Right, Grandad Brennan, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea.
Oh, God. I'd love to see Chelsea lose this, but they're not going to. So I'm going to say
1-4.
Forest 1, Chelsea 4.
Yeah.
There we go.
Granddad.
Right, where are we in the table now?
Well, we've moved up now.
Massive 15th.
We've moved
17
up.
Points. Look at that.
Well, that's
and the thing is, do you know what, Gary? Look, and what this does is with those results that we've predicted, even if we change this to a loss, so we're still outside. So if you change that to a loss, calculate, we're still just outside.
Perfect. What more could you want?
Moyes gets to keep his job.
That's not a European challenge, is
Brilliant.
it?
No, if you turn the table upside down,
you're in a European battle.
Do you think that's what Moyes is doing? Do you think
two separate things?
Do you think Moyes is looking? Do you think he turns the table upside down? Do you reckon that's what it is? We're just outside the. We're almost in the top 4. Could be.
I hope so.
Right, let's get rid of that anyway.
Right.
That
Okay.
ain't
Right.
great considering we're normally in the top 10.
That.
It'll do, but it ain't great.
There we go.
Right.
That is that.
I think we're nearly there, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We are. It's people are dropping off. So I think that's. Hang on, what's this one here? Oh, we've done that one from Smeagol, haven't we?
What do you think? He's asked us over.
So I'd like to.
Yeah.
Let's address that.
What do you think about his goal now?
No, Arteta in the Daily Mirror, he basically said that he was played in an unfamiliar position, and he basically had to adapt to Moyes' way. Or not play similar to Joe. What
do you want to talk about that in all seriousness?
Yeah, go on.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Where did Arteta come from? Did he go Rangers to Everton?
It came from Spain, Sociedad, Real Sociedad.
So he was at Rangers.
No,
did he go Rangers, Sociedad to Everton? Okay. So he went Rangers.
Moyes said that today. Moyes said that today.
Okay. But what one thing is clear, Moyes bought him and then made him play in a position that he's never played in before, which is bizarre.
Which was what?
Genius.
What position?
I don't know, but this is what he said. This is what he said. Look, I don't know.
I thought he was a number 6.
I don't know that much about Arteta.
Was in goal. Arteta was in goal for Sociedad.
He was. He ran the line in one game.
Wait, what are they going
He brought him in and said, "You're playing number 10, son."
Yeah.
And then number 1.
He made the best egg sandwich associate, Dad, and he said, "No, I'm going to play you on the pitch. You're coming out of the canteen," and he said, "I don't know what I'm doing."
Don't matter, son.
You honestly,
you're number 10.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, cost of living crisis. Moyes' fault.
I wish we're going to win.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Brexit, Moyes' fault.
Apparently,
nurses on strike, Moyes' fault.
Do you know Mike Ashley's
ambulances on strike, Moyes' fault.
West Ham is shit. Moyes' fault.
Absolutely.
Always Moyes' fault. Our shit form.
If you don't get what you want for Christmas, Moyes' fault. Yeah.
So tell me things to be. Tell me things
don't
to be
like
happy
the climate, Moyes' fault.
Grant, I'll tell you what. Tell us why we should
Me
be
and Nick
grateful.
are a year apart, but look at the colour of our beards. Moyes' fault.
Tell us why. That's my dad's fault. He was completely silver by the time he was about 28, 30.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah.
Look at Brennan. Brennan's a granddad. Look at him. Look at his beard.
I'll tell you what that is. You know what that is?
Unbelievable.
Brennan is one of those blokes. He manscapes. He dyes his beard. He dyes his hair. 100%. He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
You got a perfectly trimmed Brazilian down there, ain't you, Brennan? I know you have.
He takes pride in his appearance.
Downstairs, you manscaped, didn't you? I bet you got a Brazilian down there as well.
Yeah.
God, maybe.
Yeah.
Not, mate.
So
Maybe the pocket top goatee.
Yeah.
Danny knows.
I swear. Oh, do you know what?
But look, anyway, Gary, do you want to wrap up? I think
I think we're good. Thank you everybody for joining. We've had loads of people on tonight. Bloody hell, haven't we? It's been like been like Piccadilly Circus.
It's been chaotic. It's been chaotic like last year, like it always is.
But thank you. Thanks, Danny and Grant for staying the distance.
Mercedes.
Sadie, how you doing?
How you doing?
Thanks for his booties.
Good to see you. Mike, thank you for
his booties. He absolutely loves them, and they're so warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, thanks for bringing your offspring and your offspring's offspring.
Yeah.
Anytime.
As long as we slag Man United off, I'm chill.
Good.
Just chill.
So, and there we are. We're done until after Christmas. We're back. Me and Nick are both going to the Arsenal game, so we're back the day after the Arsenal game to talk about the Arsenal game.
Are you?
Until then, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Have a lovely time.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah. And we shall see you soon. Come on, you irons.
Yeah,
on you irons.
Come on, Hammers.
Boys in.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Boys in.
Merry Christmas.